No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. I'm in here, sitting here, real comfy in my Fashion Nova jeans.
Out the gate.
And I'm sitting next to AD, Lush One, and TRell, and we're back on the show.
Yeah, what's the deal?
So before we even get into anything, we are 14 minutes late.
We are not.
You're not. He wasn't. But Lush, I think we're all in the same boat that we want to make sure that this isn't a precedent that you plan on continuing.
Won't happen again, Chief.
He just been messing up on Black History Month. Starting stuff.
Is
now
that what this
late.
has all been about?
Yeah.
Shout out Graph Woo, you feel me? Don't worry about
That's
that.
real. That's real fly, T-Real.
Yeah, real
You
Fashion
icy.
Week.
You icy.
Graph Wolf?
Woo.
It's like a wolf that does graffiti?
Graph Woo.
Oh, Graph Woo. It's a woo?
A graphic
Yeah.
woo.
Like the
Graph-
woos in
Graph
Brooklyn?
Woo.
She won up with
I don't
the
know. Let's just keep it positive.
Keep it Graph Woo.
Yeah.
Or like Wu-Tang.
Hey, I really had a lot of positive feedback being on Sledgelords
Me too.
pod.
Yeah, I saw that.
I thought you was gonna beat up Danny Mullen.
But the only thing, I tripped him right before that.
I know.
You did. You did.
Yes, that was real. That was
Black
a real
History
trip.
Month.
I tripped him
You gotta
right
get it
before
off.
that. But that was cool, though. The only thing is they were just really mad about me talking about the American flag.
A lot of
was
people
like,
I saw.
okay.
A lot of people thought that that you were talking about the Confederate flag, but that we thought that you were talking about the American flag. And I even saw some people acting like we were trolling, like we should have known you meant the Confederate flag. And I'm like, no, I think he meant the American flag.
Yeah, I was talking about the American flag, but I was trolling too. But it was good though, man.
Because he said that it seems racist to have an American flag in front of your house, which I do not agree with because, like we said in the podcast, we live in America.
Who says
We are
racist?
Americans.
I did.
A lot of
American flag.
A bunch
I
of
mean,
people
I
would
feel
say
like
that,
when
but-
people put the American flag in front of their houses, almost like I'm still part of the KKK. Don't worry about nothing. I still got it.
For sure, sometimes
it.
that is what it means. Like for sure, sometimes it's like, I'm an American, f everybody else. But I would say that's like a relatively smaller.
If you use the one with the 13 stars, that's a little bit dicey. I feel
the 13 stars means what? Like 13 colonies?
that was like the original American flag. Was just the 13 colonies.
You got one of those?
Yeah.
I don't got one of those.
That's crazy.
I used to, but there's a lot of photos from back in the day, like 2012, where I had an American flag hanging above my bed. And it wasn't for any reason. It was just like I went to Walmart
That's
and I just
definitely-
saw it and I was like, oh, that's hard.
If I seen that, I'd be like, yeah, that nigga, he don't like black people.
In this day and age, I wouldn't really blame you for making that assumption, especially knowing what a terrible racist I am. But
You up there?
I don't. I like the flag.
If you're living in a place like Los Angeles, it kind of has like a weird. It has a different accent as opposed to if you're in like Middle America where people are super pro-American and it doesn't really have like doesn't necessarily mean you're as racist. But I feel like if you have an American flag in the middle of LA, it kind of hits a little bit different.
If someone has an American flag hanging on their front porch in Compton, and you're just sort of walking down the street and you see it, what do you think?
I'm gonna take it. You want me to be honest?
Are you really?
No,
Yeah.
but why? No, you wouldn't. But why would you?
I will.
What were you gonna do with it?
Just take it.
You're not
Do
taking
something
Rocking
with
up
it.
the street like Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan did have that, right? He would always
I
be
would
carrying
think
the
it was
flag.
in like a military family
Yeah,
or something like
yeah.
that. You know what I mean?
Or I would just think that they were conservative, probably.
Yeah.
I lived in Compton 20 years, and I've never seen an American flag on anybody's porch.
But I wonder if you would notice. Like, would it even stand out that much?
It would definitely stand out.
You know what? I gotta just stop just assuming and just whoever has American flag that I feel like is hanging up on their front porch, I should just knock on their door and ask them what's the symbolism behind
You
it.
should attack them.
Somebody gonna shoot you.
You're gonna get
Hey, why you
greeted
got
by
this
a
American flag up?
Hey, what's up with you?
But I got a homie. He live like in Fear neighborhood. Like it's smaller houses, but like there's a lot of houses that have the American flag, posted up in front of their house. He even has a pole. You feel me? Like in front of
Fear
his
dude.
house. Yeah, and I was like, take it out. He was like, nah, I ain't gonna take it out right now. I was like, well, put the Mexican flag up there, see what they do.
Like a flag pole?
It's a flag pole.
Like a 500-foot tall pole?
Yes.
Like you can just put it all the way
Like
up
he
there?
was like
He bought the
before
house, it was there?
Before he got there, somebody was going crazy. Like he was the. You feel
But
me?
what's the difference with you between the American flag and the Hoover flag?
Hoover doesn't have a flag. You feel me?
Well, they have a
And,
rag.
I mean, it's just orange.
I feel like that's a flag. Yeah, but it has all kinds of cool
That's like
white lines and
if
stuff in
you
there.
don't
Now-
get along with my hood, come here.
Well, now that I'm just a little bit more polished and knowing what Hoover means and J. Edgar Hoover, and knowing what he was about. That shit, I don't.
But he didn't have anything to do with the Hoovers.
That
That
he
was
was
crazy.
he
Yes,
was
he did.
obsessed.
Is the street named
It's a street
after
after him.
Yeah.
He was obsessed with Martin Luther King, bro.
He asked him to
Man.
put niggas
Me
in
too.
jail for Hoover.
No.
He got a whole gang named after this. You feel me?
I got a whole folder full of Martin Luther King Jr. deepfake porn on my computer. So don't try to act like you care more about that than me.
J. Edgar Hoover, he was gay, huh?
Let's just keep it moving.
Yeah.
Damn.
So is that like a Hoover? But he doesn't have anything to do with that.
Oh.
He didn't like. Hey, he was setting up. You know what I'm saying? The Black Panther Party. He was doing all type. He was
Just because
obsessed
they
with it.
named
With
the,
the brawn
street, the
panties
gang
on
after the
underneath.
street.
There's no
Does-
flag to represent that in my eyes.
But you guys have a flag that you
it's just
effectively
a
use,
color.
right?
It's just a color.
Oh, that's good.
What if you just have the Astros logo on the flag? Like,
Yeah, the logo is good. It's basically just the color, orange.
Tell Fear he should have some strippers dance on the pole. See how that
I'm gonna start
neighborhood
knocking at
feels.
people's door though. I ain't even gonna lie.
About the American flag?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask them like, what's the symbolism? Like, what do you think? Like, what is?
Don't you live
like,
in a
why do
mostly white neighborhood now?
predominantly 99%?
He got black
white.
neighbors.
I got 3 black neighbors.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
big court.
Thanks for.
He was.
Well, I know he's not anymore. But
Yeah, predominantly white for sure, 99%. I love it though.
yeah.
You ain't never talked to him?
Who?
Your neighbors.
My neighbor? Yeah. I talked to all of them.
Like, come over and barbecue, buddy.
No, that's out.
Can we pull up the full Scott Adams quote so that we could get into that as long as
Fuck
we're
outta
talking
here.
about living in racially diverse areas? Because I got hit up about this by Vlad. Because Vlad interviewed Scott Adams, the creator of Dilbert, like 6 years ago or whatever. And he already at that time was claiming like Trump is going to win. I support Trump. Trump is the best, yada, yada. And that was like pretty controversial at the time. And I think a bunch of newspapers dropped Dilbert as a result. But his latest comments have actually got him dropped by like hundreds and hundreds of newspapers. And Vlad like publicly declared that he was never going to interview him again, etc.
did he say he
went off the
wanted-
rails,
Did
man.
he say he wanted Trump to win, or did he say Trump was going to win? 'Cause
I
don't
think both at that time.
Well, I mean, he turned out to be right.
Well, yeah,
low-key.
he was definitely.
He made a
prophetic,
big statement about African Americans.
Oh, did he?
I used to like Dilbert too, man.
Dilbert kind of weak. Let's be real.
I would like
Nah,
to
but at
play
the time,
full
remember they
clip.
had that TV show on Fox? It wasn't a lot of like, TV like
Josh,
that back
can
then.
you find me the full clip? Because I don't want to just read a bunch of like random clips. Like,
So if nearly half of all blacks are not okay with white people, according to this poll,
Paul,
not
for a
according
second.
to me.
when you say something,
when he says that, when he says more than half of blacks are not okay with white people, I guess there was a study or a poll that asked black people if they agreed with the statement, "It's okay to be white," which is kind of like a thing that has been used similar to like All Lives Matter, where there's been people putting up posters in like different cities and stuff that say it's okay to be white, and it's kind of like a trolley type statement that's trying to get a reaction from people, because I would think most people would agree that it's okay to be white, but the context of that has been sort of changed to
That's
whatever.
a stupid
it's
ass
like
question.
anti-inclusion.
It's a weird
basically.
thing to ask in a poll, because it just feels like kind of like it's like a leading thing where
Like
you're trying to
anybody
get a
was-
very specific reaction.
Like
from
anybody
people,
was
right?
asked to be born black, white, Asian, doesn't fucking
Right,
matter.
yeah. All right, so
I wanted to be born Asian.
According to this
Probably
poll,
did.
just for the girls.
That's a hate group. That's a hate group, and I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. Just get the fuck away. Wherever you have to go, just get away. Because there's no fixing this. This can't be fixed. Right? This can't be fixed. You just have to escape. So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where, I have a very low black population.
He was a
Actually, there's a high correlation between the density. And this is according to Don Lemon, by the way. So here I'm just quoting Don Lemon when he notes that when he lived in a mostly black neighborhood, there were a bunch of problems that he didn't see in white neighborhoods. So even Don Lemon sees a big difference in your own quality of living based on where you live and who's there. So I think it makes no sense whatsoever as a white citizen of America to try to help black citizens anymore. It doesn't make sense.
Damn.
It's no longer a rational
All right, you can
impulse.
pause it. What do we think?
I think he has nightmares of being in Africa. Yeah.
Powder's tripping out here.
I mean, the predominantly black neighborhoods right now, I mean, in California would be like in the inner cities, South Central and stuff like that. So if he's referring to that, you feel me, and being a white person, a white male, female, whatever the case may be, yeah, get your ass out of there. Don't live in those neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? you need, because you're not safe there.
So why are they buying up all those neighborhoods now too?
I mean, to sell it to other white people. It's not like they're trying to live there, right?
No, there's a
they're
lot.
trying to gentrify.
There's a lot of people.
Right, okay, yeah.
They're tearing down the projects.
Yeah.
Like they're tearing down the projects right now, or they already tore down the projects, but they're doing all these things. These people are moving back. Like my mom's neighbors now, all these white people are moving in, buying up all the property. Compton's real estate is sky high right now. They're trying to move back.
But they're kind of doing that under the assumption that there's going to be a lot less of these problems, inner city problems that they would normally expect in the future. Like in Inglewood and shit, they're building all this crazy developments and stuff. It's like the people who are moving there or buying real estate or thinking about moving there are kind of like doing that under the assumption that this place is going to change a shitload over the next few years, right?
And they've been doing that a lot. Like we all know what they do. They take everybody from over here and they move them to the motherfucking IE, and they move them to Moreno Valley and.
But no, that's fucked up to put
San Bernardino
to put that stigma on our people.
Yeah,
when and other states, they have predominantly black neighborhoods like Atlanta and the southern
That's
states
what I was about to
where
say.
there's educated people, you know what I'm saying, with high morals in these fucking in these states. And these neighborhoods where there's no problems, you know, they're educated, they're rich. So to say that is really crazy, you know what I'm saying? To get away from those black neighborhoods where those problems, like identify the problems that you're actually talking about. So, you know what I'm saying? We will know, like, because what is actually the problem that you're trying to get away from?
Because to me, this is just like a guy who spends way too much time online. Because based on your experience, my experience of being a white man, how many black people have I met where I genuinely felt like they weren't okay with me existing? Like he's describing black people as a whole as a hate group. How often in your life as a white person have you actually encountered like real aggression from a black person based on your skin color? For me, the answer I think is never, or like pretty close to never.
Black Israelites. That's probably like the exception.
But even them, they used to be outside my apartment in Koreatown, and I would walk right by, and they'd be screaming about a bunch of anti-white shit. And it's not like they said anything to me personally. It's not like I felt attacked.
They definitely didn't.
They didn't even make eye contact with me, and I didn't make eye contact with them because I'm just used to living in metropolitan areas where you're around people with all kinds of eclectic opinions. And you know, I also wasn't really aware of like how anti-white they were at the time, so I didn't think about it.
If I was a black man, I'm be worried about my own people rather than be worried about white people.
That's
you know
true.
What I'm saying? Right now in 2023, I'm worried about my own people. You feel me? My own family and friends. You feel me? That'll actually kill you. You feel me? Like, so I'm not really worried about the white man and what he has going on. I mean, there is some instances where, you feel me, that we've done some wild shit in the past, but I wouldn't hold that to the black people in general across the world.
But that's the problem, where it's like a lot of those areas, you have a lack of fathers, a lack of male influence, positive male influences in those areas. You got liquor stores on every corner. You don't have a lot of programs that's helping the kids out and stuff like that. And, you know, a lot of people grew up trying to figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying? They're looking at videos. They're trying to, let's keep it real, they fucking robbing shit. They feel like, oh, I got to sit there and do this. I got to live like this. And we can't sit there and just, you know, turn our back on our people and be like, yeah, get the fuck out of there and do that shit. Like, no, if anything, people like us need to step up and help out way more. But this nigga, he just need to say he don't like black people.
But let's be real. You guys are both included in this. When black people make a significant amount of money in America, they tend to move to like purely white areas for the most part, right?
I mean, they just happen to be white areas because, you know.
I mean, but
I'm not trying to move to a white area.
What TRell said earlier.
You want to move to a rich area or a nice area,
where
right?
it's just nicer, you know, like, and just so happen white people are there.
This is not an issue of race. This is about socioeconomic class is what it comes down to. And it just so happens there's like more of a propensity for certain races to be lower on that scale. But like TRell said earlier, there's a lot of neighborhoods like College Park, Atlanta, like a lot of different parts of the Bay Area and Oakland and things like that. And even in LA, look
Florida.
at Florida for sure. Looking at LA, look at Ladera Heights, look at Upper Baldwin Hills. Like these are pretty much damn near exclusively black neighborhoods that have very low crime, high on good education, good school system, and everything like that. Just overall high quality of life. So.
Okay, but just hypothetically, like the argument that he's putting forth here, it starts with the assumption and the idea that 50% of black people are not okay with white people existing. So let's just reverse this. Say you're a black guy and you read this poll and you find the data convincing and it tells you that 50% of white people don't want you anywhere near them. It would be reasonable based on that information for you to say, well, fuck this. I ain't living around any fucking white people if 50% of them hate me and don't want me to exist. Now, I think the problem is that he's basing this whole argument on this reaction that who knows how many black people had in response to like what is essentially like a political slogan with the "it's okay to be white" thing. I don't think that if you were to actually do some like deep polling of the average black person in America, I think you would find that the vast majority of them have pretty chill attitudes about white people when it comes to like interacting with them on their day-to-day life.
But I do think that all people have racism. I think there is a large percentage of white people, probably more than 50% of all white people, that when black people aren't around are saying bad things about black people. And I think that
more than 50%.
And I think the inverse of that is true too.
Oh my God.
I think more than half. I think
crazy.
Listen, I think more than half of black people probably feel some type of way about white people.
I wouldn't
No
say,
way.
and I
don't
wouldn't
believe
say,
that.
I wouldn't say that all black people would want white people off the earth, but I would say 100% of black people would want white people to stop making black people feel inferior.
But
If
what
we-
percentage of
that's
white
a
people do you really think are doing that to black people in
I have
any
no
significant
fucking
way?
idea.
I would say a pretty low percentage, right?
I wouldn't say that because I have no idea. But if I were just to think, and you know what I'm saying, just before, you know, just from what I was taught from elementary school to high school, I would think the majority of white people feel like we're inferior. I have no study. Yeah.
Okay.
Majority. I feel like you guys are a little cynical
Let me
over
ask
on
you,
this other couch over here.
TRell, do you talk shit about white people when there's no
Yes.
But not,
AD, do you talk shit about white people?
We need to separate jokes and
Not
like
at
your
all?
actual opinions because I don't think you're actually like shitting
not.
on white
I
people,
don't.
right?
I don't think
No,
about.
no,
I don't think about white people when I'm doing my thing.
I'm not.
I don't care.
Right, because and you have tons of white friends. You bring a random
I got-
white guys through, and it's like, oh,
I got white family.
I met him at an event one time, and we got along good, so now we're friends. It's like I don't believe that any of you guys have like real inherent bias besides Lush, who's
If
obviously.
anything, I'm
What, I
telling the
hate white
homies like,
people?
bruh, I'm telling the
I think
homies.
Lush has been captured by the woke mind virus.
Look,
Nah, I've literally been this way forever.
If you think that
Straw hat man.
no way. If,
I have.
No way. There's no way that the past 10 years of political progress has not changed your mind.
not even in the slightest.
Lush. There's like
I've been
you
like this.
thinking that 50% of white people have negative or more than 50% of white people have negative attitudes towards black people when I know that that is not your lived experience. This reminds me of Flacco when he's talking about everybody smoking
I feel
Zaza
like,
in the hood. It's like the percentage of white people that you have been around that have anti-black attitudes, I'm gonna guess is like way less than 10%.
I feel like 50%
5%.
of this podcast has negative thoughts about black people. So
Shit.
What?
I'm saying 50% of the white people on this podcast probably have negative thoughts about black people.
Whoa.
So you're saying me?
he's the only person that's
See,
like,
but this is the Lush thing of like, oh, I'm gonna like impress all the
Whoa.
black people by showing them I'm not like
Whoa.
them.
No, look, I don't.
I'm the other kind of white guy. I hope everybody
you
at
not
home sees
denying
what's
it?
happening here.
I don't really think that about you, honestly, but I do believe
Cap.
that there's a large percentage of, and like I said, this isn't mutually exclusive to just white people. I feel like every single race has their biases against other races, not to the extent that he's saying. I don't believe that 50% of white people think black people don't have a right to exist or whatever. But I do think more than 50% of white people talk shit about black people and have their thoughts about them.
I would just be
That's
timid.
crazy.
I'm just always timid around white people or other races because I'm like, oh, they probably don't fuck with me. They don't like me just because of what history is telling me.
That's what
You know
the
I'm saying?
media
just
has-
because of what
but
history
Lush.
is telling me. So I'm kind of timid.
This is what I'm saying. I know that the percentage of white people you've been around in your life that talk shit about black people has to be less than 5%.
Correct.
So your opinion of this is entirely based on what you've seen in the media, and I feel like the media has lied to you.
No, well, check this out. I'm from one of the most diverse cities in America, in the world. So, and I'm from a very liberal place. I've spent my life in Los Angeles and the Bay Area. My parents are from New York. You're from New Hampshire, which I'm pretty sure is a liberal state as well. Like, so most...
Purple.
Right. But it's predominantly, you guys vote left. So, no?
We're all over the place.
You're in the middle?
Right.
Okay.
They go back and forth, yeah.
Regardless.
It was liberal when I was a kid.
But you're near Boston, which is a liberal-ass city.
True.
And that's like...
But I'm also in New Hampshire, which if you were to ask any average person, you want to drive up into northern New Hampshire, oh, you're going to... I grew up 1 mile away from a gun store that has racist cartoons of Obama in the windows.
Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
that low-key sort of substantiates my theory a little bit, does it not?
That there are some white people. My point is just that you, I think, are massively overinflating the percentage of white people that have anti-black attitudes, and it's not based on your lived experience. It's based on something that you're assuming based on what the media is kind of putting out there. Because I don't think that you've met that many racist white people.
It's like this. I'm basing
He
it off
probably
of...
got some in his family.
I definitely do.
He's a Jew, of course he does.
Yeah. No, like it's really the Italian side of my family. There's a lot of racist Italian people. Like when you go, all you have to do is drive an hour outside of LA. Once you hit Kern County, you see Confederate flags. Right outside of the most liberal city in the entire country, you see Confederate flags. You experience
Heritage, not hate.
So
That's what they would tell you.
So what's the percentages of, white people that you've experienced in your life, you feel me, that have been racist?
Less than 1%.
Less than 1%.
1%? Hell no.
No, but like single
Josh,
digits
why
for
are you
sure.
looking at me like
single
that?
digits.
he
You
knows he's
went
full
to
of shit.
school predominantly white.
But look at your assumption of what our upbringing is versus what we tell you our upbringing is.
I'm looking
telling
at
you,
history. You're teaching me the history.
I can
white man.
I can remember a handful.
me this.
I've never written a history book. I can count like the number of times I've heard blatantly racist stuff like on
You
one
probably
hand.
heard it
Like,
all day growing up.
Hell no. But see, that's what you assume. And it's
yeah.
absolutely not the case.
Yeah, but if
So
you-
hash brown
let's say
town's a
you-
little more progressive then.
Then
That's what
people
I'm
in
saying.
Compton assume yes.
What if you went to school in Alabama?
Oh, you
I
gonna
don't
hear
know.
all the time.
What- like-
I've only been there for a
like
month.
South Carolina.
You're neglecting the entire southern and midwestern United States.
Where I haven't lived and I don't have an ability to judge yet.
No, and I'm not holding that to you, but I'm just saying my opinion on this is based on that, and that's the majority of this country. You know what I mean?
No.
The majority
The
of this
South
country.
is not the majority of the country.
The South and the Midwest is more than 50% of the population of this country.
We have had Democratic presidents for the vast majority of you and I's life.
Correct, with the exception of Bush Jr., Reagan, and Trump.
I know. I'm just saying that if, like,
It's about half and half.
if the majority of America was racist, they would probably be voting for the racist presidents, or like at least who the media has been telling us has been racist for all these years, right?
But
they voted
also
for Trump.
But that's also due to the electoral
One
college
term.
System.
One term.
That's due to the
got
electoral
him out of
college system, though. You gotta
He's
keep that in
going up
mind too.
again.
That's not the overall population. That's due to the fact that there's
But the majority of people in this country vote for Democrats.
that's
Because the majority, and keep in mind that the Republicans have just been smeared as being the party of racism for our entire lives.
But don't you
That's
think
true.
there's a
and the
lot
vast
of
majority of Americans don't vote for the Republicans.
there's a lot of racist Democrats too, though. Democrat doesn't mean you're not racist.
Yeah.
If you're racist and you're voting for the
There's
Democrats,
racist people
you need
everywhere.
to,
It
you need
doesn't
to
fucking
explore
matter.
what you're doing because Democrats are clearly the party of anti-racism.
Well, they're the party that panders to like the way you
Agree with that.
the way you describe me is like typical Democrats.
Cuck one.
The way that whole image that you have, that's like how I look at Democrats in general, and why I don't really like identifying with, even though I am a registered Democrat, I don't identify with that political party that much anymore because they're really not about action. They're just about fucking.
I don't identify with the worst of the Democratic Party, but at the end of the day, I got to
I've
rock
been
with them.
around, white people, that I always ask them, hey, have you ever said some racist shit? Are you dis? I always ask. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? There was one young lady that I asked that you know this young lady. I asked like to have you ever been around a lot of black people and she said our parents don't really care about black people. The only thing they said it was like make sure you don't marry a black person. That's the only thing they said.
That's a little racist, no?
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's a little racist.
I think for the most part, though,
That's racist as fuck.
yeah, that's extreme racism.
But I'm sitting around your family though. So after she told me this, I said, "Oh, they hate me."
But I remember having that conversation with my girl, being like, "So do they care that I'm white? Like, is me being white a thing?" And she's like, "No, like white seems fine."
If you was black,
and
they
I was
kinda
like,
would be like,
"What
"Hmm."
if I was black?" She's like, "I don't know. I'm not really sure." You know, like that definitely might have got a slightly different reaction. Who knows?
And that's in L.A. You know what I mean?
Glendale.
Like,
Wow.
They're in their own world. That's one thing that blows my mind with her is just how, to her, like she's not from, like she'll say she's from L.A., but she's not from. Like,
Let me
she's
ask
not
you.
interested in whatever the fuck's going on in Compton or whatever. Like that's just a million miles away mentally to her. You know,
How would you feel 18 years from now? Parker brings home a black guy
I would be happy for her.
from Compton.
I'd say, what set you claim? Where you from, cuz?
What if he tried to move in?
He doesn't even ask. He just moves in.
He just moves in. He just hit Parker room like, what's the deal?
Hey, what's up, Pops?
He cooking them eggs in them. Hey, fuck with me some of them eggs and that avocado you be doing every morning.
Give me some
nigga.
of them eggs. He looks like Melvin.
I know nigga
Yeah.
asking
Give me
for
some
avocado. Let me try the avocado toast, cuz.
Yeah, give me some of that avocado toast.
I
Fucking
ain't
around,
never
nigga.
had avocado toast until Adam was like, you have to try it.
That
It's
shit
good.
was
That's a white
fire,
people
dog.
No, because the first time I interviewed Duno, I got him I had Postmates bring the avocado toast, and it arrived by the end of the interview.
Because I don't like avocado. People say, well, not avocado toast is different.
Bro, I was the most.
It is
I be-
Avocado's
I be,
fire.
Now that I be thinking about it, I be doing and saying some of the most racist shit ever. Like avocado
Oh, yeah,
toast.
yeah.
Like that's for white people. You fucking get your fucking white ass out of here.
Well,
But
you
it's
plainly
so
said on
crazy.
here that you didn't used to like white people. I
You
think
should
I
beat
thought they
him
didn't
up.
like me.
You should just go beat him up
No,
randomly
No,
in the
I didn't.
streets.
you part of that 50% TRell.
I just thought they didn't like me. But avocado toast is really good though. But
fire.
it's fire. I ain't even gonna lie.
But why did
I
it
gotta
take
try
white
it today.
people to think this up? Like, if avocado's been
I
around,
don't know.
bread been around. Why did white people have to be like, oh, we have this brilliant fucking idea. We're going
Because
to
it's
smear
just
it
some-
real thin.
Some shit that don't involve seasoning and just like
Have
know,
you ever
less
had
preparing,
avocado
like,
toast has mad seasoning and mad different flavors on there, bro? I've had creative
I
ass
didn't know
avocado
that.
toast with cheese and different vegetables
prefer
and
prosciutto.
peppers and
I didn't know
prosciutto.
that.
Oh man, yeah.
Prosciutto fire.
But at a certain point, you're like, well, this is not Mexican food by any stretch of the imagination. But we borrowed one ingredient that they typically
It's
are associated with.
Californian cuisine, right? There you go. But
I
it's
never
actually
order it, but
fire,
I do
though.
like it.
It's actually fire.
Hey,
It's not that far from having like buttered bread.
I got
I love butter bread.
Oh, it's the best.
With some jelly on there, strawberry jelly.
You go
It's
butter
over.
and jelly. Oh,
On the bagel?
That's why your ass fat down.
Exactly.
He went
Love
butter
it.
and jelly.
Butter and jelly on there? Oh, man.
oh my god.
On the bagel. What
So-
you going to say, Lush?
no AD. The same question that y'all asked Adam. If your daughter one day when she's older brings a white dude home, what do you say? You don't give a fuck?
Hey, man, come on, white nigga. You part of the family.
All right.
Come on, white
Okay.
nigga.
Random white guy. Hey, random white guy. Or like
I don't listen.
Treyway 6K.
I don't have listen. I don't have
Treyway
a,
6K's
I don't have a racist
I know,
bone in
that's what
my
I'm saying.
body for nobody. You feel me? So
Hey.
Hey, like, okay, so he's too old, but like a younger Treyway 6K or
white
an average
Treyway
white guy.
6K?
No.
oh, okay. I'm about to say what the
Because
fuck?
I feel like you would have a way more adverse reaction to her bringing home a street dude.
I mean, honestly, with her infatuation with young boy right now, I want to buy guns. I'm like,
You want to buy guns at 13?
I mean, like have that for her party and shit
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. We're not going down the right.
Going
track
down the right
now.
path.
But yeah, so we gotta
showed
try
me
to
you
go
showed
back.
me a homework assignment that she did when she was like 11 that was like, I like my daddy's songs. My favorite song is Crip.
That was on Roblox.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yo,
but I
wow.
would be a hypocrite if
Hypocrite.
hypocrite.
New tape
If
dropping soon.
new tape. I'll be a hypocrite if my daughter knows certain things, aspects of my life, and she brings home somebody just like me, and I don't accept them. I can say, hey, get for the best, but hey,
I do feel like my whiteness is really showing, though, because I would be perfectly happy to bring my kid to like a BMX event or a skateboard contest or something.
what about a hood day?
No.
Would you bring her to a Greedo concert?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, I would bring her to a Greedo concert, let her be around everybody, but in like a controlled environment. Because the only thing I think of like a hood day is like, it typically happens like out on the street where like shit
Parks.
could happen, right?
Could be
Yeah,
in the
park. It's like, that's a little too much variance of like different things that could happen in that environment.
So Lush,
Hmm.
your future children bring back home a black guy. How you feeling?
Is it do I have a son or a daughter?
Is it Lil Nas X?
I think that's the most important part.
Damn, because now that I'm thinking about it, my kids are just all around white people right now, and I had to think about that shit too. Like the other day, I'm like, damn, they're not really playing with no black kids right now. Like, dude, should I worry about that or should I give a fuck? Like, should they like be experiencing some little culture, or should they get that from their cousins and friends and family, like that black side? Like, because right now school is predominantly white.
I think they got the best of both worlds.
It's like 99%.
Is there like a
They got
black
the,
kids
they got the best
club?
of both worlds.
Like a black children's group?
That is like that's kind of racist.
But they probably exist, right?
Kindergarten.
Black. Here's the black kids school
No,
club here.
if it doesn't exist, you should start it. Where it's like, okay, we live in a
Nah,
white
don't do
neighborhood,
that.
but there's a handful of black people, so we're gonna start a little club, get together, and let
shut
them.
that school down.
Not a school, but they can like interact with each other.
somebody
Like,
look like
I feel
you
like
gonna try to burn
that
it
kind of
down.
shit does exist, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Once you reach like middle school or high school,
Yeah.
there's a black students union and like or
Yeah.
like Latino student. Like that's like pretty common in schools.
I don't know. When I was in high school, it was probably 2 white people there. It wasn't no club for them.
There was White John and somebody else. It's not a regular white guy, right?
Yeah, it's literally like 2 white people.
Bro, I took my son to school and I'm like, "Where your homie at?" And he was like, "This my homie right here." I ain't gonna say his name.
Nigga named Tom.
And I
Chad.
looked over. Bro looked like a fucking surfer. I'm like, he looked straight off like he was off TV. Blonde hair, was blowing in the wind and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? That's your homie?
You got to bring him to Figueroa. Both of them.
That's crazy.
You walk in the house. What's up, Groove?
I'm transitioning now. I love it because I'm like, damn. Because, I always thought like, damn, what if they invite me to their birthday parties? Like, will they judge me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't white, my kid black, you feel me? Like, and I'm finna go in there, hat to the back, you feel me? Like, coming there all black tattoos and shit all on my face and hand. Like, are they gonna judge me? Like, that's the shit I be thinking about. I be worried about.
From my perspective, my parents, or like the average polite upper class white person that I could think of, would probably go way more out of their way to make sure they were nice to you than anybody else.
For sure.
When I'm having like a house party or whatever, because it's in everybody's head that even if like you were doing something that they didn't appreciate or something kind of weird, if you were Hoover stomping around during the happy birthday song. I guarantee you, my mom, you would have to do something so offensive or so fucked up for my mom to be like, well, that TRell, he's a bit of an asshole, huh? Whereas like if you look like Scott Adams, it would not take much for my mom to be like, that guy's a
How do you think Scott
Democrats.
Adams would feel if his daughter came with a black guy?
She for sure is. She for sure is.
I feel like he really could use some time around actual black people, because when I'm watching him give this speech, I'm just like, bro, like that's not really what real life is like.
This fool's wife got fucked by King Croc or some shit.
Well,
and
his
that's
wife
why, like-
did just leave him. I actually just found out about this. And
Why for a black
I hope,
guy?
I hope it's a black dude.
well, I don't know
It
if it was
definitely
for a
is.
guy, but it was he had like a younger wife, like not like super young, like maybe mid-20s. She had like a couple million Instagram followers, terrible engagement. The likes were completely off base. I don't know what the fuck's going on there, but apparently she just left him. And Dilbert has hit the road.
Fuck Dilbert.
Dilbert was a great comic strip, I'm not gonna lie.
Dilbert K.
I did appreciate that when I was a kid. Dilbert was pretty fucking funny.
Kilbert.
Yeah, the engagement on Instagram is pretty shitty, and especially for Heather too. Right now, like for both us, we really shadow ban as far as like her, like the business. I'm like, damn, this shit is whack.
But why? She has like pretty wholesome content for the most part, right? Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. Like,
she posting
just
up?
been in that hole. Hell yeah, right now she be posting. Like, so, I mean, TikTok really right now is like it's it.
That's
You
the
feel me? You don't
wave.
even really gotta have a lot of followers. It's just like post the content is getting out there, like, and people reaching out from TikTok rather than reaching out from coming from Instagram.
But when
That
you're
shit is
when you're
weird.
using TikTok, it's just you feel like you're playing the lottery, because everything you post, like it could get 1 million views or it
You
could
don't
get
know.
2,000 views.
It's
I
not
don't
even,
know.
It's not even a view. It's just how much followers you getting. And you feel me? Like the engagement is there. As long as you post, people seeing that shit.
But see that's the weird thing that I've noticed, and I hate talking about this inside baseball TikTok engagement stuff. But the Plug Talk page, very specific and centered around one thing, even though it's sex type stuff or whatever. But it's like everything we post is either me and Lena or me and Lena interviewing somebody or me and Lena interviewing, like whatever. It's always pretty much the same thing. So our engagement is super consistent in comparison. Whereas like on my page, it's like
All over
post
the
a bike
place.
riding clip, I post a family clip, I post a workout clip, I post a kendama trick, like a random rapper interview. It's just like, I think that's probably pretty bad for your long-term engagement.
I know about, I've seen that too. Like everybody who does the same shit every day, their engagement is crazy. People go back to their page to see that specific thing. Like the guy who do the food critic guy. What's that black guy?
Oh, that
name?
black guy, he killing it.
He killing it.
Nigga,
Dog.
look
Keith. Keith. His name is Keith. Like he just does the food critic.
Nigga,
shit.
look at my
like,
pops.
Rated 1 to 10, nigga, and that's it. He booming.
Pops going up.
Like
on-
I've got some millions on fucking
bro,
TikTok.
yeah, like it's going crazy.
Financial shit.
So here's something that I want to say now that we've addressed racism. Lush, how's your mental state now that you got wrecked by the Chalupa lady and the editor in the same week?
Let's rank the diss tracks. Let me rank the diss tracks.
Trevor is the GOAT. Teapot for life.
Teapot for life.
Hardest up north drill rapper I ever heard.
Okay.
Fire.
The worst diss track against me by far. Almighty Suspect. Let's just keep it a stack. Like, it wasn't even a diss track. Like,
But I think in his head, that was the plan. It was like, I'm not even going to diss. I'm going to just spit a hard verse, let him know how good I am.
Excuse
and,
me?
You know? I don't know.
yeah,
That was amazing.
I thought that was kind of like the direction he took.
Yeah, that shit.
'Cause it wasn't
his actually
specific
verse
enough,
was
right?
hard.
The verse was hard. The
Yeah,
verse was hard.
His verse
But
was
just
hard.
based on not, it's like, if I have, if the assignment is to write an essay on William Shakespeare, and I write a great essay about Christopher Columbus, you get a fucking F. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you didn't do it.
I agree with that.
You
I agree
didn't
with that for
do
sure.
it. So Almighty Suspect, great verse. He rapped good. I'm glad that I could inspire it out of him. He's in last place.
But he has this like aversion to anything hip hoppy or battle rappy where it's like, no, I won't rap just like sitting in this room. I'm not gonna just rap freestyle off the top of my head. Like he does his verse, he doesn't want to make it a diss. I think he like grew up in such a hip hop ass environment that he has like decided that he needs to reject it.
Which is a shame because he actually has talent for that and will actually have so much more of a shelf life because when he's fucking 34 years old and still talking about on the gang, that shit's not gonna that's just not gonna work. You know what I mean? But if he's that age and he's really flexing that lyrical muscle, which he has, and he's going to have a much more long-lasting, sustainable career. And dumbing down your skill set only works for a while. Like, that shit's cute when you're a teenager, but once you're in your 20s, like, come on. Like,
J. Cole
sometimes
say,
you gotta dumb down your skill
gonna
set,
grow
man, and be artistic out here because it's all about the vibe right now. People are not trying to listen to the lyrical miracle shit no more. So
No,
sometimes
some
you
people,
do have
some
to,
people
you do
are.
have to dumb down.
You just have to put that out there, and
if
people
you
are gonna
are,
gravitate to
I
that.
mean, but if you are a lyrical miracle doing the whole little shit, you're not gonna be as big as all the rest of these motherfuckers.
Not necessarily true, because TDE didn't took the route.
yeah, like,
But
they-
TDE's not lyrical miracle.
Yes,
First
they
off.
are.
They started off
No,
lyrical
they're-
miracle.
What?
Right now, they're the most artistic artists right now with beautiful
But
music.
to
Right.
hits.
get
Right,
them to
right.
that plateau,
Right.
the No Sleep to New Yorks with Kendrick and J Rock when they was dropping them mixtapes and they was
That was
Ab
at the
doing that.
time, and you got to grow with the time.
But
when
they're
they-
still great lyricists. Even
They
though-
might be great lyricists, but when people talk about Kendrick these days, they're not talking about the fact that he's an elite rapper. They're talking about the fact that he makes beautiful music, right? Like, and I feel like that's pretty consistent amongst rap. Like, if you rap, the better you rap, the older you seem. When I saw AD spitting that fucking verse, he killed it. He went crazy. I thought he was 45. Because it's just, the harder you rap, the older you seem. I don't know what it is.
That is true though.
It's just something about it.
You know what? It's all ebbs and flows. I've seen lyricism go in and out of popularity throughout hip hop culture so many times over the years. At the end of the day, it's part of the skill set that defines your ability as an artist, so it'll never fully be gone. Regardless, I liked seeing Almighty in that bag. However, worst diss because there wasn't a diss.
But you know what? As an artist, I feel like you, at some point in your career, you do have to show that versatility that you can
Exactly.
be that rapper. You feel me? And then you move on and then you start growing. Because when you talk about top fives and top tens, who's the most lyrical and blah, 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 you're going to put Kendrick and J. Cole in there every time.
Every time.
Because they started their career off like that to let niggas know, like, look, check this out. Don't try to fuck with me, you feel me? Because it can get crazy, but I'm finna go over here, you feel me? But at some point in your career, you do have to do that to gain that respect.
Even Big Sean. Same
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
like,
for sure.
Big Sean too. But also, like, if you look at if you look at all the different tracks that these fools made, AD was the best one because he actually got in his lyrical bag, to me. and that's what you're supposed to do when you're talking about diss tracks. That was the hardest one. Trevor was like the most entertaining. That shit was hella funny. He had like he made it fun.
Maybe the
That
most
shit was
listenable.
Very listenable,
Very smooth.
very listenable.
Which is not what I expected from a non-rapper.
Lupe's was
my
hard.
God. Look,
shit.
He just LaCroixed himself. Can we get some towels? At least it's green on green.
Yeah, I know, right?
That shit look crazy.
Damn. He came in this fresh new drip that his homie gave him or something.
Nah, this is actually my second time wearing this. I just tried to get it off again.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I stay doing that.
Yeah, you got to rinse and repeat.
Yeah, I'm with the repeating shit.
LaCroix gets out stains, I'm pretty sure.
Continue.
I'm pretty good cleaning up too.
But yeah, like
Look at him. Dadding it up over
shit
there.
look crazy.
Where were we?
Nah, the AD joint was cool. Trevor's was fire. Lupe did really well. I was impressed. Eyekon did his thing. It was short to the point.
He had a
succinct.
video, though.
He had a video. That shit was tight. I think it's dope. I like all the creativity that came out of this shit.
Eyekon got his video posted on the No Jibber channel. He got like
Fire.
130K right now. So, he's probably fielding label offers right now. Yeah, they're trying to get him to sign and shit.
And I want to,
Yeah.
because people was telling me, like, you said, oh, Lush can't say this about your kid, and you went and said this, so you can say this. I want to be clear. I said if Disaster or anybody hopped out saying some disrespectful shit about me or my family, I can't help who feels a certain type of way about it. You probably gonna get your ass whooped. But shout out to my guy, Disaster. That's my homie.
Diz wouldn't do that though.
No,
He's
Diz,
like, yeah.
Diz, me and Diz is like this. That's my
Yeah.
guy. I already talked to him.
Amongst friends, dissing each other's children seems kind of
Yeah,
unnecessary.
that's
But
that's clown
I'm
shit.
just saying, as far as Lush, like, I think like I really like went for the juggler. Could have got crazier.
I think I could
But I
diss-
went for the juggler.
I could
and I'm
diss
like, he
Astro.
could have said something.
I could diss Astro in a funny way.
I'll beat your ass. But this is not a rap battle. But I mean, even what Lush said about Keekee, I told him, I was like, listen, bro, Keekee ain't gonna take this shit lightly.
I didn't say anything that crazy.
This
About
nigga hit up Keekee and said, I shouted you out in the song.
I did.
It's the dumbest
It's not-
shit ever.
That's
I
the
did.
dumbest shit ever.
I did
I
shout
shouted you out in a fucking
And
song.
then it's a diss.
It wasn't a diss.
It definitely was a diss.
It was a
It was an AD diss.
Okay.
He had a pod, but AD didn't even go there.
Oh, you said something else too.
I mean, that's open to interpretation.
Is it?
But
yeah.
that was crazy because I was like, listen, and even Keekee was like, the only thing he can really say about you is something about me. Fuck him.
I've been thinking about dropping my track for the past few days, but
You got one against Lush?
I got a song that I've been cooking up in my brain, and I have a collaborator that I know that wants to work on it with
A
me. but-
ghostwriter.
No. No.
A ghost rapper.
22 got bars. 22
writes
got
his
bars.
own bars.
22 could write.
22 can rap.
Now, would I perhaps want to have a consultant in the building at the time so that we could work together? For sure, but all my bars come from right here. Anyway, I don't know though. It's like it kind of feels like maybe the era is over, or is the era still
So
going?
you diss Lush?
Every week is different. I didn't write any of it yet. I just have all these bars stored in my head.
I think.
Give us one
I
right
think,
now. No.
I think dissing Lush should be canceled. Let's just
Yeah, it's too much now.
Everybody should be dissing each other now. Fuck it, just go random.
No, I wasn't gonna make a whole Lush diss song.
Yeah, just go random.
That's
Anybody
too much.
diss me, I'm gonna try to make you cry.
I will give all this right now and all the credit right now to Lush. Lush
sure.
is taking this shit on by 10 motherfuckers by itself. So he won. Let's give it up. Let's go rap and do something else.
But
baby.
do you
Yes,
feel like-
sir.
Hey, Smac shit was hard too, by the way.
Smac killed it.
When you look at the
Freestyle.
fans and the reaction, do you feel like they're still as interested in the rap stuff as they were like a week or two ago? Because that's what I wonder is like, are they still engaged with this?
I think they're engaged in the possibility of there being more rap content. I think the diss track thing needs to be like I don't think it's over at No Jumper, but it can't just like I think we can't just play it out. It has to be when the time is right. If there's some genuine lyrical animosity that needs to get off.
I think they like fucking drama, and this was like some new kind of beat format that was super fun.
We were talking about this the other day because we're talking about doing ciphers and all that kind of stuff. So we maybe have like a more controlled format for us having like the host rap or whoever, different people come in and rap and everything like that. And I was talking about the OntheRadar freestyles that they do in New York, and they have all the lit drill rappers and everything. And I'm not 100% sure, but from what I've seen, they don't diss their ops in those songs. And that, I was thinking that's going to have to be like a rule, right? Like if we're going to be doing like no jumper ciphers, I can't have people just be straight trashing their fucking enemies on this platform, right?
I'm dissing everybody.
Yeah, you don't care, but I feel like it's going to get bad.
I'm dissing
why not?
everybody.
I mean, if you
never dissed anybody.
Dissed him.
Yeah, him,
Bro,
non-affiliate.
He asked for it.
Fools
Who else is who's affiliate here other than TRell and Smac?
That's what I'm saying though. Like if you go,
Ain't nobody else
if
gang
we do
banging.
a cipher and you say, "Hey, first off, fuck the Bloods." Okay, no,
Why would I say that?
cut. I'm just saying, if you
yeah.
did,
Fuck.
cut, we can't do it.
He don't rap.
Oh,
like
you
that.
talking about
Like,
people outside of the company?
Oh, yeah,
I was
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about people in the
Oh
company.
no.
Jada Kiss went on, I think, Beanie Siegel went on, I think it was the Basement, I think, and went and dissed Jada Kiss.
That was some of the best disses of all times.
that shit is
Yeah,
hella
it was
hard.
going
Jada
back and
and
forth.
Beanie going
Hella
crazy.
hard.
But
hard.
they were
That shit was so
they were
sick.
dissing other famous rappers. So if you get on the
hard?
track and you say, "Hey, fuck Joe Moses,"
That's my homie.
I know, but I'm saying if that would be acceptable because that's just one person. I feel like the,
But even
the
if your ops
gang
can be
dissing and stuff
rappers.
is what we got
I
to avoid.
was talking about like throughout No Jumper. And everybody get a clip.
Yeah,
Just
but
leave me alone.
that's over. Like there's nobody you're gonna diss in here that's gonna be that big a deal. I'm just worried about once we really start getting into the rapping thing. Oh, because like think about it, if we do a cipher and it's like, oh, we're gonna get Baby Stone Gorillas and so and so and so and so. You would think those motherfuckers aren't gonna want to use this platform to say some shit?
They ain't gonna say no wild shit like that.
Yeah, if we
This
tell
is
them
for
not
your
to.
career.
So what? The best thing you can do for your career is to diss your ops.
Honestly, I agree with
Not
that.
on this platform.
But-
You're not
but-
gonna get on. You're
This
not
is a
gonna
big
get on-
platform.
You're not
Nah.
gonna get on BET and say, "Nigga, fuck such and such."
No,
Yeah,
you're
but they
not.
might not know who the fuck you're smoking on.
I
On
agree.
BET, no.
I agree. though,
Somebody
because
might get it off though.
If there winds up being some like real life altercation that happens as a result of something that was said in a No Jumper cipher, that would be hell of unfortunate.
Yeah, whereas if they put it in their own song, it's like it's
I mean,
not our
honestly
problem,
though,
right?
if it's not live anyway, just
Cut
take
it.
that shit out.
But we could also try to urge them not to do it in the first place.
Or
Hey,
bleep that motherfucker.
Don't diss the ops in here, man.
No, don't do
but
that.
come rap though, fuck with it. But that's like, ain't nobody going to LA leakers doing that shit, nigga.
Nobody.
Like,
They probably
nobody.
tell them too, don't you
Is-
think?
have y'all seen?
I think it would just be common sense, bitch, to don't do that shit.
But it's
most of
not
those
common sense
rappers
'cause
don't
people-
be on those platforms anyway.
People are so incentivized to do it.
True.
Like the truth is, like I heard Access the other day, and it's a good point. Youngboy put out an album and sold like 35K. If he had put out an album in which like he had multiple like crazy dirt disses, shit would have done 100, no problem. It's just the reality is like the more gruesome the content you put out there, the more the fans aren't gonna be able to turn away.
with
You know?
everything though. Like if we
Drama
got some beef
sells.
that happened on this shit right now, the views are gonna be skyrocketed, and people they just want that fucking drama.
Yeah, they want the drama for sure.
And if you just thrive off of fucking drama all day, eventually somebody gonna get your ass.
Well, it's kind of like what just happened this weekend with Smac. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Same type of shit. Like, would that pod have gotten nearly as much attention if it wasn't for that happening?
No, but before we get into that, you know what I'm saying? We definitely have a big announcement
Oh, yeah.
man, for Figgmunity Monday.
go.
Make sure
No,
y'all,
nigga, we can tell them now because they gonna see this at this time.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
we have a big announcement. I'm pretty sure you're gonna see it already. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about nothing. Make sure you get your tickets. You
We
feel
doing
me?
the fucking L Ray.
Yes,
nigga.
sir. Get your tickets. Buy your
Yeah.
tickets, man.
June,
Figgmunity, you know
go.
what I mean? Yes, sir.
June, what is it? June
May
22nd.
22nd. May
22nd. I said
22nd.
June.
Get your tickets, man. Purchase them right now. Don't worry about nothing. But yeah, let's get it to Smack.
I'm
That's
just glad
fire.
it's a live show.
No,
not
it's
a
June
community-
22nd.
Okay.
fool.
It's June 22nd?
Yeah, nigga said May.
I thought he had a
Oh.
new streaming deal. I'm just glad it's a live show.
I don't know where they came.
No.
I don't know where.
I saw people debating that nonstop
I don't
on
know
Reddit. Yeah.
why people were saying TRell and Smac are going to Caffeine. Like no one never said that shit.
Well, you said you talked to him, right?
Well, he asked me to talk to them.
I
You feel
talked
me?
to him, but ain't nobody offered me nothing or called me or
really?
anything like that. Yeah, so I ain't even.
Hey man, and at the end of the day, if the homie want to get his chili, let him get his chili, man. You know what I'm saying? I just seen what's his name, Diplo, talk about. They was like, listen, why would you take 110 million to get your catalog?
I just saw Diplo sold his catalog.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. They was
100
asking
something
him.
million?
He was like, I don't want to wait 20 years to get that from my shit. He want the money right now and do his thing. So if, you know, eventually the time is going to come, TRell is going to sign to somebody. Let him get his chili, man. He got a family to support, bro.
Don't sign that.
When artists do things like that, is
That's
that
a bad
for their,
idea.
You don't think to sign it at all?
is that signing away your future records as well, or is it just your pre-existing catalog?
pre-existing,
Yeah, that's what
typically, I
thought,
think,
yeah.
yeah.
I know with my deal, I own my
No, but he's
YouTube.
talking
I
about
own my
Diplo.
shit.
Yeah.
I'm cool. I give my 2 days. They keep that content. I can still chop it up, put it on my YouTube. Nobody owns my shit. You know what I'm saying?
So the intellectual property is yours.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put it in perspective for you. Is like I was just reading this
Shout out to Caffeine. I love it.
crazy ass article. Shout out Bang Energy. There's a crazy article about Spotify and basically how they've spent so much money over the past few years for getting exclusive deals with all these different podcasters and everything. And in large part, it would appear that they're not reissuing a lot of those deals, and that a lot of these deals don't seem like they're working out. Like, we are in a bubble in which the value of a podcaster is basically being inflated by the fact that there are giant tech corporations that want to build businesses off of latching on to, you know, content creators. And that's why when you see somebody like the Caller Daddy Girls getting $60 million for a podcast deal or whatever, it's like, are they going to make Spotify $60 million? No, most likely they are not going to. But in the short term, Spotify can basically like carve out a big chunk of the podcast market by signing the biggest people that they can, by getting a Joe Rogan or academics or whatever. And best of luck to all of them. But in the long run, I think you're going to see the price of a lot of those deals like really coming down, because it's like the same way during the SoundCloud era, you were seeing random fucking wannabe kids with a face tattoo getting $3 million to sign. I know people who got $3 million from a record label to sign, and they never put out a popular song. They never put out anything that made any money ever.
But if you can get $3 million for that, that's a W.
No, for sure. But in the long run, if you really believe in your talents, you probably want to stay independent.
But you know, in their defense, podcast been out a very long time, and everybody's not being reached out to get that $60 million deal. And Call Me Daddy, whatever the hell, she's really doing her thing. She's bringing on some really exclusive guests, and I'm pretty sure she is gonna make that money back. I mean, they have all ears on Spotify right now, Apple Music and Spotify. So they have some idea to where they're gonna make this money back. They're not just issuing.
But the thing is, it's not her problem to make the money back. Yeah, and for Spotify, that's a fucking that amount of money doesn't really matter in the long run, because they are like previously, podcasting was just the Apple Podcast app. Spotify has a problem. Playing music on their service doesn't make that much money, and the vast majority of the money goes to the artists and the labels. So even if the rates per stream for music go way up, the vast majority of the increase is going to go to the artists and the labels. So Spotify is just dealing with this problem that their entire business is based around streaming music, and streaming music doesn't make that much money. So they're like, oh, we want to get into podcasting because the average podcast listener is going to sit on the app for 45 minutes or whatever, as opposed to a music listener is going to sit on there for 5 minutes. And meanwhile, like, if they pay Joe Rogan and academics and Call Her Daddy, then a lot of other people like me or whoever is going to just upload our audio files to there for free because we make money off the advertisements or whatever. So that's their long-term play, is like, we're going to give out a few $100 million to the biggest creators we can find in hopes that everybody else will use the service for free.
It's essentially for cultural capital is what they're doing. They're
Yeah,
paying.
but-
They're
but
paying.
they-
They're
but
paying
They've
for
carved
I don't
out a
think
decent
so.
chunk of the podcast market already through this investment. My thing is, are they going to keep doing it? I don't think so. Remember when Apple Music was doing the exclusive deals for all these projects with all these different rappers? And that just went away, right? And now you never see artists get...
Same with Tidal.
Yeah,
Tidal
you
is doing
never
it too.
see artists getting upfront money from Tidal or Spotify or Apple, because the marketplace has already been basically like...
So basically, take the
created.
money right now and run. That's
Yeah.
exactly what
That's what he
Diplo
just
just
said.
said.
Yeah.
I'm going to take this 110 and I'm going to get it out of here. I don't give a fuck what they going to do in 10, 20 years or whatever their marketing plan is in 10, 20 years. But if you give
don't
me
wanna
the
wait 20
50,
years.
I'm getting the 50. So matter of fact, you might as well build your shit up and do whatever you could do right now, because these deals aren't going to be available. And you know what I'm saying? And
Get
in
it while
5 or
it's
10
getting good.
years, like, I don't give a fuck
But
what they're going to do in 5 or 10
taking those
years.
short-term deals, yes, get the money, but then at the same time, if it's gonna decrease the ability of your business to make money in the long run, you kind of have to expect that there's going to be a future in which those kind of deals don't really exist.
But in the long run,
level.
do you think you're gonna make like 60 to 100 million off podcasting? You got to be truthful to yourself too.
Well, if I got offered
Like-
$60 million to put No Jumper on Spotify for a few years, I mean, shit, I guess at a certain
That's
point
what-
I got to
and
do
that's-
it. But realistically, like, they got that deal because they're fucking gigantic. I don't think it's not like a realistic thing to expect for the average podcaster. And that kind of deal for them, I don't think exists in a few years either.
And in this situation too, like I know just me dealing with the deal that I got, my fucking YouTube has not decreased at all. Actually, it's increased since I got the deal and taking those clips and putting that shit up on there. So people have it under the assumption that, oh, well, you're losing this or you're losing viewership. And I'm like, no, like if you check the stats, like nigga, my shit is continuing to increase when it comes down to that. And I don't have nothing but good things to say about that. I think everybody out there, when I seen Gillian Wallow supposedly get 100 million, that's like, ooh, nigga, this shit. We got to work harder. We got to make this shit shake. Academics getting his deal. All these black creators getting their deals, and we like right at the cuffs of that shit.
But
Like, why wouldn't you sit there?
I'll give you an
and-
example
and
of why
get
you
in on
wouldn't.
that?
I know this like comedy podcast in New York that's run by a couple of people. I'm trying to be real vague, but at one point they signed on for an exclusive deal with a big fucking company that's putting all this money into the podcast space and they're signing people and giving them big deals. And it seemed dope when I heard about it. I'm like, oh, good for them. They're getting a bunch of money or whatever. Fast forward like 3 years, and I now find myself sometimes having the conversations with people where they're like, what happened to that podcast? And I'm like, yeah, they're still around. They did that deal with such and such corporation, yada, yada. And somebody told me the other day, like, yeah, like, I think they know they fucked up because they lost their audience when they went to that platform. And now they're back on YouTube and everything, kind of trying to pull it back, which if you're smart about it, that won't really happen because, like, think about Joe Rogan. He's still putting out clips on his Joe Rogan channel on YouTube and stuff. But, like, some people, like, if your fan base is really rabid, they will follow you. If your fan base is kind of whatever, like, that going to that other platform might be the thing that makes you lose your
And
whole
you shouldn't
audience.
be married to any platform because, as we see, all these private-owned companies, bro, they can X your shit out. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that got a big Instagram following. The Instagram gone, they gone. That's what it seems like. So you should want to build a following that goes with you wherever the fuck you go and not like, oh, you're on this platform or you're on this platform. I just seen Aiden Ross, the money he got, he went over. That made me personally say, let me go check out Kick and see what Kick's all about.
Look at
because you're married to the motherfucker.
It's owned by
creator.
the gambling sponsor that he has.
Oh.
Look at the
He got
original.
chill.
Allegedly, I don't know.
Look at like the original Big Caffeine deal. It was URL, the battle rap
Big
league.
deal.
They still have that deal?
They still have
Hell
that deal,
yeah.
and they not only that, but they have their own app, which is one of their biggest revenue streams. I think it's like $8 a month, and so basically they have their events streaming on the Caffeine app, and then it goes directly to their app, and it never hits YouTube. This is a company that
Never?
They
That's why
barely,
I will never see it.
right, but it hasn't affected their popularity in the slightest. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they're
Maybe.
they're bigger than ever. They're
If you
bigger than
give
ever.
me 60 million and you don't decide to redo the deal, I don't give a fuck.
Nope.
You might, though.
I have 60 million
If you
that I
have-
didn't have yesterday.
Okay, but if you have a lot of momentum going with your podcast and you feel like you're taking that 60 million and then your podcast basically just takes a giant hit in terms of relevance, I guarantee you, like, the 60 million is going to feel good, but you're going to be sitting around a little
but
bit
business
pissed off.
wise and the way I'm gonna orchestrate my deal and what I want to do as far as my intellectual property and keeping my my show where the fans are more, you know what I'm saying, they're more familiar with, that's what's gonna happen. So it's just all about
They
it's
didn't
all
let
about
Joe
how
Rogan
to
do that.
Yes, they did. They let him put his clips
Yeah,
onto
but
YouTube.
he's
So
putting
it's the
up,
same
like,
thing.
2 5-minute clips out of like a 3-hour interview. Like,
But that's great though.
His
People watching it.
audience took a hit from going to Spotify for sure, but it's like you're Joe Rogan, so it doesn't matter that much.
I mean, some people listen in the car anyway. You feel me? Spotify and Apple Music is the biggest while you're driving. You feel me? Like you said, we don't listen to the radio like that anymore. We listen to Spotify, Apple Music, and whatever.
Oh,
Now,
I listen to the radio. I listen to
we do
Brown
for
Bag.
Duno.
Yes,
We
I
do
listen
for
to
Duno.
Brown Bag Radio every
Oh yeah,
morning.
now for sure I'm listening to the Brown Bag. You feel me? If it's not the Brown Bag, it's over with.
I'm
You
so
feel me?
curious about that because I don't know if I've even heard the radio in like fucking 10 years, like 5 years. Like
Years.
maybe in an Uber once in a while or something. So I like wonder if you're doing like, are you getting mad followers on Twitter from people who
yeah,
seem
bro.
like they're just random chicks who listen to the radio? I don't know.
Bro, the
like-
average people, when they dropping their kids off to work, they're still listening to the radio. They're not listening to it for the music. They're listening to the personalities at the end of the day. And then there's somebody like Duno on the radio now, Letney and Vic. Like, that would make me want to say, you know what? Let me get up in the morning and listen to them versus listening to some bullshit.
And demographically, what's the largest demographic of people that listen to
Hispanic women.
Hispanic
Come
women?
on.
So Duno's for
It's a
sure.
W.
For sure got them Latina thickums.
And
I just got that shit on in my house. Just Alexa, hey, turn on Power 106. Like, I didn't even know Alexa could do that.
Really?
Oh God, I did. I was like, Alexa, Power 106, please. She just turned that shit on, and Duno came on. I said, damn, this is crazy.
I'm gonna be real with you. I never used an Alexa. Like, I don't get how that
Alexa's
works.
crazy.
You a Siri guy?
You just no. I don't.
Hey,
do that
Siri.
Bro.
So what? I just say, Alexa, turn the camera on.
Alexa, civil rights movement. She gonna tell you what that
It's
shit
just gonna
do.
read it out
She's
like the
gonna
civil
read it
rights
all.
movement was.
Yep.
You definitely
She
got to
gonna
do
read
all
it
that.
out.
I've
Oh,
never
God.
done any of
Even,
that shit,
I bet
bro.
you in your car, even in your car, when you say, hey, Mercedes, take me here. You don't got to type nothing no more.
I honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I don't really know how to use the heat or the air conditioning in my car. Like, I
Oh my
just
God.
barely started to get a grip on like how to make it work.
So you just getting that bitch started up and come here.
Light a spliff.
Oh my God.
My girl said that to me the
Crazy.
other day. She goes, "You smoke a spliff in your car every day on the way to work?" I go, not every day.
Oh, we skipped that topic about Smack. We can go back
Oh,
to it.
yeah.
Yeah, let's go
all
ahead. Let's go right there.
Let's smack them.
Yeah, that was crazy. It seemed like everything was chill at the end.
Why did you start throwing money? Because I only saw like a short version of the clip. I didn't really understand the full context.
Oh yeah, the full context was the day before that they pulled a prank on him, like some fort spray type shit.
On
and
Smack
said-
or on the other guy?
On Smack.
Okay.
And said he stink or whatever the case may be. He laughed it off of it, but it really bothered him to point to where he felt like, people is trying to, take him for granted, you feel me, and use him for clicks and views and a whole little shit. And, Smack doing this shit on No Jumper and back on Fig. He feel like he doing this shit at a high level right now. So he just want to talk it out and laugh and joke, you feel me, and do that. He really don't want to do the prank shit or whatever the case may be. So he was kind of upset with that. So he said, okay, so if motherfuckers is doing this shit for clicks and views or whatever the case may be, I should be able to do whatever I want to too. Which was his idea was a very bad idea. So let me just get that out the way.
Making it rain.
Yeah, that was a stupid idea, but that was my nigga idea. I mean, but that's what they do. You feel me? They prank each other, they talk shit, they do. That's what they do over there. And he decided to go over there, throw money on, one of the other individuals, you feel me, that he feel like is fucking with him or whatever the case may be. The guy who actually hit him, he just caught a stray. You know what I mean? So he was just there while
That's his homie, right?
But yeah, that's Tiny. That's his
Childhood
homie.
friend.
Yeah, that's his childhood friend. That's he just caught a stray. He threw some money at him, and then he just reacted different. I mean, which is you supposed to act, you supposed to react like that in some instances, but I feel like just on. When you doing this type of shit and you on podcasts and this type of shit, you feel me? Like you gotta like hold it down. Like certain reactions are like you can't do that shit. Like it's unacceptable when you doing this type of content. You feel me? Like you gotta kind of hold it down and hold it together. So, but they don't know that though. You feel me? Like they just doing this shit. You feel me? They just got into this shit. They want to press record, and they see everybody doing it up. You feel me? They see community. They see back on Fig. You feel me? And people like aren't seasoned in this shit. So those type of things will happen. You feel me? But
My advice is just pay attention to how the content and the incentives of the content are changing you and the people around you, because it will happen without you realizing
Bingo.
it, and it will happen to the people around you even worse because you'll be able to see it with them. And I'm not saying that like the guy who swung on him was a fucked up dude or anything. Obviously, I don't know what the fuck happened there, but you just start to see it, how like, people who might never normally be in beef or arguments or conflict, all of a sudden they get on camera and they got somebody to beef with every week. And I'm not going to lie, like I sometimes be going through it myself. Like the next topic that I'm going to try to talk about, I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh, I could go in on that person today. And then I thought about it a little longer and I was like, I don't care. Why even bother making my life about that for the next couple of days, But there's a lot of people, especially who aren't really thinking about how the camera is incentivizing them to while out. it happens.
Bro, you just hit the nail on it, bro. And that's like, I've literally been watching and getting disgusted by how so many people are letting this camera bring out the worst in them. You feel me? Childhood friends, family members. This shit gets sickening, and it's really, the camera is not for everybody. It really isn't, and it's plain to see. Like niggas now, bro. Like everybody thinks now, oh, I can come on camera, I can be messy, I can do this now, and it's just like it's creating a big whirlwind of just unnecessary drama and shit like that. And I hate that, like, Tiny and Smack, those are childhood friends and shit like that. If it was no shows, no cameras, them niggas probably would never get into it on no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I feel like Smack now, he's to the point now, bro, people used to Smack being broke, him not having no car, him just, you know, doing his thing. But one thing I can say about Smack is that he's been the same person, whether he's getting money, some fame right now, he ain't changed one bit. He gonna walk up to you, I come in peace, he wanna have a good ass time. He hasn't changed at all when it comes down to the shit. And I know Smack a long time.
Is that true? He's not getting bougie?
He ain't getting bougie.
No,
Hell no.
I saw a few comments that were kind of like acting like you might be getting a little
hold on,
bougie. I don't know if it's true or not.
He's just proud of himself now.
But shout out Tiny and shout out Keem. They was over there, you feel me? And, you know, afterwards, we all spoke. We talked on the phone right before they went on air again, you feel me, and went live. But Smack, let me tell you, Smack will get bougie on you. He will. He will go and get, but that's okay. You feel me? You can do that when you got money in your pocket and you doing your thing and you just came from nothing. You feel me?
You feel good about yourself.
That's fine. You feel me? But it's just the way, it's how you do it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. You feel me? And that's what it is sometimes. You feel me? Like with Smack, but 9 times out of 10, he ain't finna just go be boasting and trying to shit on you.
Let's keep it real.
He's not finna do that.
Was that energy Smack was giving, was that anything out of the ordinary?
That was not out of ordinary, and he didn't do that shit in a malicious way at all. So
he was trying to have fun. He smiled when he was sitting there doing that shit.
Just doing that shit. If motherfuckers knowing him, they know he coming feast. He ain't doing that on purpose. So that's why I say that reaction, like that was like unacceptable.
It makes me think about how burnt out the fucking streaming world is, or the podcast world is, because I feel like normally a clip of somebody getting punched on a live stream like that would be like the most viral thing in the world, and people are kind of jaded to it at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, fucking, they watching No Jumper every week and get happening.
Yeah, but think about why the Almighty One went so viral.
This is your fault.
That was like 20 solid punches to the face. Like, you know, I don't know. That felt a little different to people, I think.
Do y'all feel like essentially at the end of the day, it's difficult to have friends that are in a very different financial bracket as you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's like basically what it comes down to, right? Especially if you're broke, all your homies are broke, then you get money, you kind of have to separate yourselves to a degree.
It don't even gotta be doing what. It is nothing to do about money, because everybody sitting in the room is pretty successful. You feel me? And they own right, but you know,
I'm not even talking about just them. I mean in general.
No, in general.
For sure.
People start pocket watching. They start asking questions. They're like, "Fuck it, how can I be involved?
Yeah, bro.
And do this shit."
Gonna be mad at you.
And that's the thing too. Like, and it's sad when it comes down to our people, where it's like, nigga, we got to look out. We got to watch out for our own people when it comes down to that. If you're too flashy, if you're doing certain shit, you don't know. Like, the closest people to you are plotting on you and shit like that.
But
that's where we come from.
They also feel like, why you flexing on me?
Bitch, you should have had this idea and did your shit and made that shit happen. Don't be mad at me because I'm out here doing my thing now.
Yeah, you whole ass nigga.
Fuck is wrong with you niggas, man? Niggas mad at you now. Because guess what? Before I started doing this shit, before I joined No Jumper, niggas was laughing at a nigga, bro. Oh, yo, music trash. You went and did the podcast. That shit ain't gonna work for you.
God.
TRell, all you niggas doing podcasts now. Now everybody want to do a fucking podcast.
I was the
nigga.
I was
fuck you niggas.
Brokest nigga when I came in and joined No Jumper. I came for a job. I came here for a job. That's what niggas is thinking. That nigga's a podcaster now.
You're gonna sweep up and shit.
That nigga's that nigga's a podcaster now. That nigga's a YouTuber. I'm at the bottom of the barrel like I'm a bitch. But the shit is all working out in niggas' favor now.
Make niggas look
now
stupid.
niggas is creating YouTube.
Go ahead and be mad.
My biggest
now
piece
you
of
want
advice,
now you want to be down, hoe ass nigga.
TRell, my biggest piece of advice is just when people that you're like friends with or whatever, when you start to really be in the position that people want jobs and you start to feel like saying yes just because they're your homies or your friends,
don't do it.
don't do it.
I ain't doing that shit.
Let me tell you this: is like I've been friends with people for like 10 years, and they were addicts. They had weird shit going on with their girl. They're always fighting with their girl, like all kinds of crazy ass shit. And it never bothered me because I never had to deal with it. Like, oh, you're a fucking cokehead, but I only see you at the skate park, so it don't matter, you know? Or like, oh, you're a drunk, but I only see you when we're both drunk, so it doesn't really matter. And then you hire them, and every single bad thing about their personality all of a sudden is just staring you in the face every time you deal with this person. And their failures are like, you can't help but correlate them with you losing money.
And then this thing too, these people will look at some comments and be like, they feel this way about me, or I can do this now, or these people are wrong. And it's like, listen, the people for the most part, it's great to give your opinion, but everybody knows that sitting on these couches knows that these fans will fucking flip-flop on you like crazy.
On a daily basis.
So do not think that they're married to you in any type of way.
And they all have their own opinions, realistically,
Facts.
and they just come out of the woodwork based on whatever just happened. Like, if something happens that they agree with or that they seriously don't like, those are the comments you're going to see. So a lot of times when somebody is under fire, like when Lush was getting fucking hell a couple months ago, it's like, yeah, like there are people who are mad at you, but those are the only people who are commenting. Like all the people who don't give a fuck about this are just not commenting. So it might feel like 100% of people hate you, but in reality, it's just those are the ones who are talking right now. And who knows how serious they really are, because a lot of them might change their opinion 2 days later.
Easy, all the time.
I feel it's just so sick because I know when you get to that certain level and you see the hate, I'm like, oh, I'm making it. You feel me? And it's like, nothing can stop me now, bitch. It's over with. You feel me? Like I'm already in too deep. It's nothing you really.
And all you niggas that was laughing, don't try to come film. Don't bring your artists on the platform. Suck a dick.
Hey, but here's the question: is Joe Budden was on his podcast the other day with Nori, and he was talking about
that was the best one, man.
Podcast is spelling.
He was talking about how he really enjoys seeing other people start up podcasts and then fail.
Go to cooking.
And I don't know necessarily exactly who he's talking about, but yeah, I mean, okay, it's not like I want to see anybody fail. But when you see somebody give it a shot and then they figure out that it was a lot harder than they thought it was going to be easy, and then they sort of started to figure out like, oh, this is actually really hard. That could be a good feeling because it's basically just you being proven right.
If you thought you was finna be me and you come in here and then you feel me like you're talking shit about me, you feel me like you the nigga, you better than me, you do, and then you go out there and try to do what I'm doing and you fail. Ha, bitch. Fuck you, nigga.
Every time.
And your podcast, your YouTube, you bitch.
Stupid ass nigga.
Like, but that's, I'm going to laugh too if it's negativity behind it, but I really, for the most part, ain't really got no negativity behind it. Like, I'm moving forward. I'm, playing my part. Smac come in peace. We come in peace. Like, this shit is tight. Like,
anybody who starts doing content for the right reasons, of course I'm going to embrace them. Like somebody like Math Hoffa, like, me, Vlad, whoever. We all see Math Hoffa doing his thing. We like his content. We're going to embrace it. There are a bunch of people that I see doing content that I'm like, this is stupid. Like, you suck. This ain't going nowhere. And yeah, when they fail, yeah, I might get a little bit of enjoyment out of it. I might not say it on the podcast like Joe Budden is saying right there, but I understand where he's coming from.
And there's also like a cycle when it comes to podcasting. If you're somewhat of a known personality and you jump into the podcast realm, you're going to have like your initial first couple episodes are going to have a lot of viewers because people want to see you in that context. They already fuck with you. And then you're going to, if you don't bring something to the table, those viewers are going to drop real quick. Inevitably, they're going to drop. And how you deal with that lull and get up out of that, that's going to define if you're actually built for this game or not. Sure. Math Hoffa, that's a perfect example. He, out the gate, people were a little bit curious about it, so he started getting views, and then it kind of started dwindling. But he thugged it out and stayed consistent, kept creating content, and boom, look at him now. Yeah. So I think that people need to, if you're not really willing to embrace all that encompasses the artistic element of being a podcaster, get the fuck out of here.
I'm embracing everybody. I fuck
Hell
with
yeah.
you. If you doing your thing, I fuck with you.
No,
But
I'm
if-
saying, but
yeah.
embrace the skill set
Yeah, I
that it
embrace
takes.
it.
Like
Yeah.
what you do, the skill set that it takes to be TRell. You don't just show up and talk shit.
Yeah, I can't give you me,
No.
bitch.
Yeah.
I can't
And that's-
take the
and
personality
that's the
out and
problem.
give
It
to
might
you.
look like that's what we do.
He
but-
showed up. He showed up on Sledgelords and told me how he wanted to swap wives for the night.
Yeah,
you?
so let's do it.
Hey,
Let's
and
be
that's
swingers.
Hello, Heather.
and that. Oh my
She's gonna
god.
be traumatized.
Let's go, Lena.
I'm gonna feel bad for Heather.
I'm gonna feel bad for Lena.
No, that's the
Take
problem.
Lena
Though.
to the ghetto.
I'm putting on some Gigi Allen.
People are looking at
Taking
podcasts
her
now.
down Vermont real quick.
People are looking at podcasts now like it's the new get rich scheme. Oh, nigga, they doing it's like rapping. Oh, we could do this shit now. You feel me? And Joe Budden, when he was talking about his rap peers that were like, you know, making fun of them for doing the podcast
Right.
shit. And
Right.
now they want to start a show. He's like, they either do that, they go to cooking, and he's like, I'm happy to see you niggas fail because y'all are the same niggas that's talking. And shout out to the 22 because community clips and back on Fig. This is now a Snapchat. We have a Snapchat discovery show.
Fire.
We both do. You feel me? And that's like the basis of how I even came to know Jumper in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Hella people were talking shit about Budden though, and they were like,
Come
"Oh, like you couldn't
on,
make
bro.
it in rap now. You're podcasting. You're a media guy now." Da 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 da.
Like, why is that so bottom of the barrel for motherfuckers? You're a media guy.
Well,
like,
it was a
nigga,
new.
okay, bitch.
It was unexplored terrain, and they didn't realize that in a few years, like what do we say every week? Motherfuckers be listening to podcasts more than they do music at this point.
But that's the hilarious thing is that there was a time, and it wasn't that long ago, it was less than 10 years ago, where Joe Budden was considered a loser because he decided to start a podcast where he just talked to his friends. Whereas if Joe Budden, like, think about if Joe Budden right now was still rapping, and never mind, like, having to basically fall into these boring ass tropes of like what rapping into your 40s actually is like. It's still just you like fucking rapping about having kilos of coke and talking about fucking a bunch of gun bars and shit. Not that Joe Budden would have done that, but the idea that that's considered admirable to just be like saying the same old fucking punchlines well into your 40s. To me, what Joe's doing is I would much rather enter my 40s being a guy who has a fucking talk show that talks about my life with my friends rather than having to put on this weird braggadocious fucking persona and rap, you know?
And I like how Nori said, if you watch it, he said, man, this is his third life now when he's doing these things. And he has one of the biggest broadcasting deals in history when it comes down to doing this shit.
What he was saying is that he got separate advances for his audio content and then his video content on YouTube and then I guess the TV stuff as well, which is like, I would love to know exactly what those deals are like because I've always been somebody who's like, oh, the amount of money we make off YouTube, that's what we make. The amount of money we make off Facebook, Snapchat, whatever, that's just what we make. When you get those deals, it's basically just a big company saying, oh, we're going to give you $1 million up front, but then we're going to take all your YouTube money for X amount of time until we recoup plus
That's
then
like a
some or
360
whatever.
deal, basically.
Yeah, like, I mean, well,
I ain't doing none of that.
it's exactly the same as
Which
the,
they think that I'm in No Jumper 360.
well, but it's
deal.
exactly the same as the record labels.
You here until you 80, bro. Just
That's
give
what-
it up.
That's what Pun said, that I'm in a 360 deal.
But think about it. It's like, it's the same thing with the label. They give you money up front, and then you make money, and then you have to pay them back
It's an
at an
advance.
exorbitant rate. It's
Right.
like, I don't personally understand why the fuck anybody would want to do that when you could just make the money front. Like, but I've been lucky enough to like actually create a business that makes sense. Whereas like, if somebody were to say, oh, you're making X amount of dollars per month, but we're going to give you the equivalent of 10 times that, like, okay, but how the fuck are you supposed to be like, how are you making money off this deal? Because if you can make money off the deal, then why the fuck am I not doing it for myself?
A lot of people, they do that with like pub deals where it's like, we're going to give you this upfront money,
Yeah.
but we're going to own a percentage forever.
And getting a pub deal to me, especially early in your career, is basically acknowledging that you have no confidence in your own career and being able to be successful, and you'll just take this cash out early on. And
Well, a lot of
Sometimes
artists,
people need it, man,
But that's
to
true.
survive.
they
Like,
might need it. They need a
most
payday
times.
loan too.
a lot of
Most
artists
times.
that are focusing on pub deals are not like the ones that are going to be climbing up the charts and things like that.
Oh, and
You know
I
what
think about the SoundCloud rappers that I knew back in the day who said, oh, I got $100,000 up front for my pub deal. And I remember looking at them and thinking, like, you really don't believe in yourself? Like, you don't think that you're going to make a shitload of money later in your career?
Yeah.
But they were right. They were right because
But-
they never made
but
any fucking money. So
it's
they
easier-
should be happy that they took the
It's
100 grand.
easier said than done when you're living in poverty and your mom and everybody got bills, you got kids and shit. You can't really turn down that much money, and that's why these companies they prey on that. Where it's like, listen,
If you believe in
1000%.
yourself, turn it down because you don't need that.
believe
This
in
is the
yourself,
Ponzi scheme of the record industry.
Believe in
from day one.
believe in yourself. But if you living in the hood and you trying to make that shit out, you gonna figure that shit out later. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh God.
It's been like that going back to Motown. Literally, it's been like that.
So speaking of towns, somebody from a town named Mulatto decided to call me out last night.
You a hoe.
Amazing transition. So for the record, can we pull actually
From
I probably
A-Town.
have it right here. She's from Atlanta.
Yeah.
who? I want to ask you first. Who posted that?
Remo. And the reason why
You catch a slack for
no,
everybody.
but the reason why it doesn't even need to be stated who posted it is because he signed it. Like it says his fucking name right there in the fucking thing. No, wait,
But
I
they
So
don't-
Lotto called Remo a bitch.
They
No,
don't-
no,
she
she
called
called me
Adam
a bitch for
bitch.
something that he posted. That I had to go watch the video.
This your
morning.
platform. You're responsible. That's how people gonna look at
Yeah,
it.
but to be fair, he did sign. Oh wait, okay. He didn't sign his name on Twitter. He signed it on Instagram. Okay, fair enough. So the post said Latto was on Omegle and landed with someone who didn't even know who she was. You can go to the No Jumper Twitter or Instagram if you want to watch this, so we won't get claimed. But it's basically just her on Omegle, and the guy doesn't know who she is, and she's like laughing and tells him what her Instagram is or whatever, so you can go look her up. And then she wrote, "Corny. I interrupted my friend's conversation with this man from India. I talked about how I can't wait to visit and said, let's follow each other. The fuck is funny? I never expected him to know who I am or anyone for that matter. Adam, you a hoe and wouldn't try a male rapper like this.
Use a hoe.
Tomato.
I'm going to be real with you. I have never heard Latto's music and I don't know anything about her. So I never would have thought that she even knew who I was. So I was kind of taken aback by this, especially since
she's talented and she's bad.
She's fine as fuck.
I watched
and she's
this
dope.
video after I saw this post go up.
Yeah, but Adam, I feel like that tweet wasn't even clowning her. I thought it was more just it's funny. She went on Omegle and the dude didn't know who she was. What everyone needs to know who she is.
And,
like,
well, but it is funny. But
can
it's
see how they can
also
be taken out of
it's
context.
blatantly a TikTok that somebody just downloaded and reposted. So I'm assuming it was already viral on TikTok to some extent, and that somebody on my social media team
But I've seen
just
this on
took it and posted
I've
it.
seen this on a lot of platforms.
Yeah, it's on tons of platforms. That's why it's so funny that I'm a hoe. I've never even seen this.
That's probably
shit.
the first one she's seen because they probably got a lot of reactions. But in her defense, man, she's a great rapper. You know what I'm saying?
She is.
She has a hard ass album. You know what I'm saying? That I roll to. You know what I'm saying? With Heather, I fuck with her a lot. But what I don't like what's going on with Latto is probably why she responding like this, because she just getting a lot of hate from out of nowhere. She's been getting a lot of hate and a lot of a backlash for every little thing that she does. Like the fans just be on her for every fucking little thing, and she just
I didn't know that either.
she just getting fucking fed up. You feel me? Just like Latto, like her name being Latto. Like
See, I thought Mulatto was a cool name.
Mulatto. Yeah, I would have just called it Mulatto.
well, she was
I mean,
originally she was Miss Mulatto, and she was on that Jermaine Dupri reality show contest, and she won. She beat everyone, and like she could clearly rap. She has all the
clearly rap.
Yeah, she has all the intangibles that it takes to be a star, and then
she's
she
beautiful.
wound up. And she's fine as fuck, and wound up, getting the necessary augmentations to take that beauty
What'd
to
she
the next
get?
level.
She got BBL.
She got some stuff.
Why you worried about her surgery?
I gotta go look.
I
at
like her surgery.
You know what really
What the
took it
fuck?
over the top is
Yeah,
when she had that disagreement with Nicki Minaj. You feel me? And her and Nicki Minaj
Well, and
just going
Kodak.
back and forth.
There's the Kodak thing too.
What'd
and
she
the
say,
Kodak
Kodak?
thing.
She had made a comment about there being a feature on her record, and she's like, one of the features was like trying to fuck and and she kind of was talking down. Kodak took offense, made it seem like it was about him, and then they had a little. Then Kodak ain't taking no shit from nobody. You
Honestly,
already know
earlier
that.
I searched Latto No Jumper and I couldn't find anything that we'd ever posted about her on like YouTube at least. So I don't know if that's part of the problem. Maybe she wants us to talk about her more. Maybe she's trying to get in the convo here.
She don't need it.
I think it was the crying, laughing emoji is what upset her.
I like how AD's acting like she's like insanely successful.
She
She-
is.
right now.
She is.
Is she?
She's one of the biggest female
she's a
rappers right now,
big-ass
for
star.
sure.
I never heard her, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I bet you have heard her and you just didn't know.
No.
Meg the Stallion, Latto, City Girls.
It's up there.
Never heard him. don't want anything to do
You
with
ain't,
them. But
ain't heard the Big Energy song?
Fuck out of
no,
here.
that's the song that I remember. I posted a TikTok one time of like some girl at the porn convention talking about like a big dick or something. So I remember I was thinking like, isn't there somebody who has a song about
That's
like
her
big
song.
dick energy? And I searched for it, and then I hated it, so I don't think I used
That's
it.
her.
But
Ain't got Mariah
You
Carey
forgot
on the
Glorilla
remix?
though.
Oh, Glorilla's coming up. You feel
Yep.
me? Then you got Nicki and Cardi who's
Glorilla
sitting there
fire.
at the biggest.
I love
but
Glorilla and Ice Spice. I just wanna
Shut
make that
your
perfectly
ass
clear.
up because when Glorilla came out and she was coming out with her songs, you were fucking killing her. You were killing her voice.
Find it because you're full of shit.
You're lying.
full of shit.
It's gonna be in our text messages talking about how you didn't love her voice.
Me acknowledging that she has a very deep masculine
This is not gonna
voice
go
has
anywhere.
absolutely nothing to. You really think I said that about Glorilla? Find the receipts. I would love to see
You did
that.
have dibs on getting the interview early on.
That's what I'm saying. I've been trying to interview from early on, and I've been extremely transparent about the
I'm
fact that I
saying,
like Glorilla's
you dropped the
music from
ball
early
getting
on.
the interview.
How
early
did I
on.
drop the ball when somebody told me they were going to get the interview and then they just didn't?
I wouldn't. say
How is that
happened.
me dropping the ball?
I
then?
wouldn't say that happened.
Well,
I don't
what
think-
happened?
I don't think you was enthusiastic about doing the interview at first.
That's not true.
All right.
But I love that you guys both have completely fake narratives here about me not liking Glorilla.
I thought that Meg had a super,
Well, you can prove it, I'm sure.
I thought Meg
Well,
had a
I
super
didn't say
deep
you didn't
voice
like
till
her.
Glorilla came
But
out.
I bet I was dying to
gonna
interview
handle
Glorilla.
me?
Hey, one conversation. He's just over there. He thinks he could just start another conversation.
Straw hat man.
Shows up
Go
late
ahead.
and starts his own combos in the corner. Lush. Come on. No, I loved it though. TRell fucking spazzed on Lush this morning when he said he was gonna be 15 minutes late.
Yeah, that's out, dog.
I don't think he spazzed. He
You
was
want me to
just
read it?
Read it, please.
I'm just so
Read it,
glad that
please.
I don't have to be the only person bringing that kind
Did
of
you
fucking
spaz?
energy.
Did you spaz? I don't
It
know.
just sounds like that if you reading it in my voice.
Yeah.
The homies, hey,
Lush,
listen.
running 10 minutes late. See y'all soon. In traffic. See y'all soon. She said it 2 times. Then TRell said, all that late shit is out. I have shit to do. Because, no, I love that because in the past, there's been people who I got on I'm saying, hey, being late ain't cool. And then I got all this pushback and shit. And it's like, bro, you know that if you...
When the last time I've been late?
You've been good lately. But even you being 15 minutes late means that everything throughout my day has to get pushed back. And that
15
just takes a real amount of gall to really like think that you're so important that you should be able to push our entire schedules back. So
Bruh.
I really love and appreciate TRell for
look,
taking a stand.
Being late's not cool, and I'm typically not late. I've been very on time. I was
You were late last week.
I was taking both weekends. I've been taking care of my mom,
Okay.
and like it's been kind of there's been some little complications and things like that. So yeah, this morning
Do you have a doctor's note?
was rough. This morning was rough.
We're going to need a doctor's note.
Yeah,
Hopefully, mom's doing fine.
but
Yeah,
no,
hopefully
Yeah, and I don't mean to get on, like, obviously the mom thing, parent thing is important.
I said that
but
off cam.
you just you don't like being the principal, and now TRell did it. You like, I ain't even got to take
No,
it.
I like that he's actually like learning what I've learned, which is like how important it is to be on time, and that he's actually like standing up for it. Because that's one thing I hate on here is when people are like, "Oh, we're just gonna be rebels. We're gonna just do whatever the fuck we want." It's like, no, if the business is gonna work, then we have to actually do things right and move in an organized way.
Well, speaking of a doctor's note,
Ooh.
this Thursday, motherfuckers getting their whole top row of teeth in this motherfucker.
That's more of a dentist.
What about the bottom row?
That's next. That's
Finally, you're not
next.
gonna look like
so
a
they got
two-
so it's more
two and-
work at the top.
2.5 weeks. Yeah, no, it's just they can't do it all at once.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
my boy
yeah.
not gonna look like a Rottweiler no more.
Yeah, yeah. You
I was
feel me?
thinking about
Yeah.
you the other day when I was drawing Baby Shark.
He still ain't gave us the contact, so you gonna let him do your teeth first?
Oh
and
yeah,
then we
no,
can all
no, no,
go.
it's good. It's good. Yeah,
You
I'll-
got a dentist in Turkey?
I'm going to Beverly Hills to Dr. Jeffrey Klein.
Yes, sir.
I still got the blood, but we gotta go to Miami.
Yeah, we're gonna see what Dr. Jeffrey Klein doing if he doing it for the year.
This don't get them horse teeth, man.
Your teeth are
No,
fucked
no,
up?
They're kind of like
yeah.
I need
Okay.
some Invisalign.
His shit is definitely not in the same galaxy as mine, but you feel me?
My girl got the Invisalign, and that shit, like, her teeth were all fucked up. Her bottom row teeth.
Did it
they're-
fix it?
They're all crooked. She wore that Invisalign for like 6 months. I swear to God, it's perfect now.
Oh
Wow.
my
Yeah.
god.
I couldn't believe
it. I think either Trevor or one of the guys is going to be coming and documenting my
Oh, Trevor the rapper?
Trevor the rapper. Trevor Parappa the rapper.
He's very
is
talented.
going to be
One of the best PlayStation games of all time.
Parappa the rapper. I
Yeah,
never
Parappa the
played
rapper.
that.
Oh
Even-
man,
even though it was
punch,
about a
it's
rapper,
all in the mind.
I couldn't bring myself to
loved
play
it.
it back in the day.
1 and 2.
Hey, can we talk about, well, do you have any more teeth notes? Just pure
I just
excitement.
I just want to know what motherfuckers like. What's the next angle? There's a lot of angles to make fun of me about, so I just want to know what we're gonna.
Nigga, just don't diss nobody no more. So you the best rapper.
Nigga said he want to know the angle.
What I am.
I ain't giving you no angle.
I got the craziest pen though in the world.
Yeah, if that helps you sleep better at night.
My pen is crazy.
Tell yourself that.
My pen is absolutely crazy.
So have you been able to survive? You know, like. I'm not going to say you got like an entirely negative response to the disses, but there's been like a lot of negativity. Has it hurt your like self-image as a rapper?
I got a lot of love, to be honest with you.
You got a lot of hate too.
To be honest, like look at the polls. I'm second to AD. I'm totally cool with that. You feel me?
I noticed AD screenshotted that after 6 minutes.
If you look at the full one, it changed. He dropped 1% after that. But
I knew it.
He dropped 1%. But it was
he probably had both screenshots. He's like, I'm gonna post this one.
I did.
Yeah.
I can show you my phone too. I'm like, which one should I do?
All my streams are up. And most importantly,
are you getting paid?
I mean, yeah, like streaming revenue.
I know you too well.
Yeah.
But are you on DistroKid?
Oh no, I have a distribution deal.
Oh, you got a distribution.
He's on Cocaine Bot.
I'm under Sony Orchard, but
and they pay you for the streams.
Yeah, you get paid out for streams. Like it's nothing crazy. I mean, I have a publishing deal. I've like, but here's the thing. Most importantly, I had a lot of fun, and the shit was dope, and it gave me like a whole second wind at something that I really enjoyed doing that I didn't think I was gonna get that much.
Well, shit, I think you made that shit fun.
It made me want to rap, even though I have never wanted to rap my whole life.
I ain't sat and wrote down in hours like that ever. Like I stopped everything I was doing. I'm like, I'm gonna kill this nigga.
That's what, and that's what, like at the end of the day, it's always been my greatest contribution to hip hop is inspiring other people in different ways.
Shut the fuck up. You was cocky as a motherfucker.
Inspiring
you
other
thought
people.
that you was the greatest. You thought you was the greatest. You was out of this galaxy. And everybody came out the woodworks whooping your ass.
Bro,
and you was like, oh shit.
My pen, I wanted that. I wanted you to come fire.
Bro.
My pen is crazy. No one's stopping my pen. No one's stopping my pen.
You acting like you just was like top notch 10, 15 years ago. You were disgusted, bro.
I didn't say I was top notch.
You ain't fucking inspiring nobody.
You was popping it. Out of this galaxy of people.
Hold on.
Who you inspiring?
I didn't mean as a rapper. That was my.
You tell me as a businessman?
Just as like the moves that I made, as like for.
Oh, Nipsey Hussle moves.
I mean, I wouldn't go as far as saying that's a pretty lofty comparison, but I'm
Why?
saying, but I set up. Argue some of the biggest battles in battle rap history.
You have done that.
I've put on a lot of the top battle rappers in battle rap history.
So this is the same thing, really, because he probably put this on. This is the biggest battle rap thing ever at No Jumper.
Well,
it's just a part. Sure. That's kind of my whole point, though. You feel me? Like, like it's inspired because in order to
that's like saying we the best talent show in preschool. Lush did it.
I No Jumper, yeah. If you
be the best.
If you when you book a rap battle, it's not just like, hey, you want to battle this guy? Cool. There's so much that goes into it, and you have to give a little Vince Lombardi speech and inspire them and get their pen moving and things like that. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not just like there's so many politics, there's so much different things to navigate. So yeah, that's something that I have been doing for 10 to 15, 20 years out here, is inspiring people to rap in different capacities.
Who gave the best speeches, Vince Lombardi or John Madden?
Shit, I think Vince Lombardi's kind of that guy, no? He's kind of that dude.
Never heard of him.
I know, for sure.
I heard of John Madden. Yeah, a video game.
John Madden did have a video game.
There you go.
R.I.P.
We were talking about this thing on Sledgelords where he feel like he's left out of these sports conversations because, these sports conversations, they grow into other things.
I'm in the same boat as 22. I don't give a fuck.
You don't know about sports?
That is crazy, dog. You know about fucking sports.
To a certain degree.
You know who Vince Lombardi
going
is.
on.
You know who's a coach.
Listen, to a certain degree,
you know who John Moran is.
Certain shit. Yeah, of course.
Okay, we can speak on it. He don't know anything.
I know, I know the highlights. I know the best players. I'm not deep diving into that. I don't know the third string quarterback. I don't know if you walk past me.
I know, but me either. I mean, but the biggest podcasters, if they do bring up a sports reference or they start talking about sports, Adam will be left out. You feel me? And he'll have to, engage in the conversation, and it's gonna be like left field. He don't know what the fuck he's gonna be talking about, which is a great.
I'll just
I got that play sports that I don't know. I've never seen nothing they do. I'm like, yeah, my homie, he played for them. I'm like, I don't know. I ain't never seen it.
Me either. But I know what his position does if you ask me.
There was a couple weeks ago where I went, it was like Monday morning, had a couple different errands to do. So it's like I know I'm going to be able to listen to at least one podcast in the car. I put on Brilliant Idiots. I put on the Shane Gillis podcast. I listened to a bunch of different podcasts. Everybody talking about the Super Bowl. And I watch the Super Bowl, but I don't give a fuck about hearing people talk about it. So I ended up skipping through quite a few podcasts.
See, I love the fights. I'm going to watch the Super Bowl. I'm going to watch everything. Every championship game. I'm with that.
Fighting,
you know
I like. I can watch boxing and
fighting.
UFC. Even though I usually don't.
You
but.
played, I'm sure you were on some sports team as a kid.
My parents made me play basketball. Well, if you really want to get into the deep-seated Adam 22 lore of why I think I never got into sports, I got glasses when I was in 4th grade. Up until then, I had no idea that I needed glasses. And when I think back to my childhood, I clearly needed glasses. Like, I was playing basketball. I was getting hit in the face, fucking my nose up with the basketball. I remember one time I got the ball in, like, 2nd grade, ran to the other side of the fucking court away from everybody. Like, my vision was so fucked up that I never, like, developed that early hand-eye coordination, I think. So I think that's why I always struggled with sports and why I basically, like, resented them and was, like, done with them by the time I was done in elementary school. Yeah, I did.
I'm thinking about getting it, too.
That's great. It's the best.
Everybody tells me that.
Did
Get
you,
the LASIK eye surgery. I'm thinking about getting it.
It's been like 15 years since I got it, and it's still good.
And you
he's
still,
wearing
like, you
glasses.
stand by it.
2020.
Damn, I got to go.
Those are just style glasses?
These are my style.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, I forgot Bugattis. Don't worry about nothing. But yeah, I did it. I think I did it like 10 years ago.
But I also just want to say, one time I randomly listened to this podcast with a dude who was in like an 80s hair metal band or some shit. And it might have been a guy from Duran Duran. And he said the fucking same thing about how he felt like developmentally he had like a weird upbringing because his eyesight was so bad and he didn't know it until later. So sometimes all the weirdness inside of me, I think it might be because I couldn't see shit. I'm in 1st fucking grade. People are talking about stuff. They're showing a movie. I can't see the movie.
You didn't have like eye tests and stuff? Don't they like? Isn't
They
that kinda
definitely do
normal?
that at the nurse's office.
Yeah.
I would think so too. But okay, to put it in perspective, when I went to get glasses for the first time when they tested my eyes, my mom thought that I was trolling the doctor because my ability to read the eye chart was so bad. So I don't know like how many years it was before that, the last time I did an eye chart test or whatever, but I was like, I just couldn't see.
So
shit.
your problem with sports stems from being a handball being thrown at your head.
Listen, it could have been that I was going to suck at sports. I could have just been a person who was going to suck at sports no matter what. Yeah. But when I think about it, my parents had me in sports from a very young age, playing baseball and basketball, and I was always like really bad.
Oh, I was always trash.
Yeah,
I was like, this ain't for me. I'm gonna start rapping.
Oh yeah,
I'm beating on the tables.
Yeah, and so what was I into during that time period of my life? Fucking sitting in my room, drawing and playing video games because I was more in control of that. And my fucking vision shit didn't matter.
Well, how are you looking at the video games? Were you all the way on the TV?
2 feet away from the screen, probably.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
Did your mom say you're gonna get square eyes 22?
Square eyes.
That's what I used to hear all the time.
Square eyes.
The glasses?
They used to say when you get too close to the TV, you're gonna get square eyes like the TV.
Oh yeah,
So
for
wait,
sure. Yeah.
My mom be like, your ass gonna be blind. And
Right.
I was.
So
Because I used to be on that motherfucker like this. And then I really was blind. Then I had to get glasses. And then I lose the glasses. And then when I went into adulthood, you feel me? Like I didn't go get glasses myself because obviously it's my responsibility now. But when I was driving and shit, like I'll get up on the street side, I got to be this close to that motherfucker to know if I got to turn a left or a right. So I'll always have to bust U's and make the wrong turn to know because I had to go all the way on the street sign to know what I was doing. Like, so one day I was on a freeway on a 405 and I didn't know what to exit. And I almost crashed that motherfucker because I had to get all the way on the street side. I was like, man, I'm finna do this LASIK shit. And I went and did that shit. When I did it, it was only like $1,000 an eye. That shit took 5 seconds an eye. She did the little laser thing. Boop, 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 boop. Nigga, she told me to go home, take a nap for an hour. I woke up. And nigga, I woke up, I had 20/20 vision. I ain't lying.
How many years ago was this?
It was 10 years ago.
So what was it like your first? Like, was it difficult to adjust to being able to see anything? Were you kind of like thrown, like taken aback?
Well, I had
Yo,
contacts and
what-
shit. It's just like that, except now it's your actual eye.
Yeah.
Like when I woke up, because I was like, my vision was super blurry. But when I woke up, like, and I was like, I'm finna see now because, I always gauge it. I used to be like, hey, I should ask my friends, like, what's the score on the TV? They should be like, score is such and such. And I was like, ain't no way I could see that. So when I woke up, I stood far as fuck back from the
Read
TV.
it all.
And I was like, ooh, the score is 76-30. I'm like, ooh, this is stupid. I was like, that's why I bought this fucking TV, nigga. This bitch is clear. Like, I was looking like, this is crazy. She was like, and Heather was looking, she was like, nigga, you going crazy. I was like, man, I can see.
But see, that's why it's so important to be an attentive parent, because my mom, she still talks about how bad she felt when she realized that I needed glasses like my whole life and that she didn't fucking notice. And me and my girl were just having that conversation. That I had fucking eczema and like dry skin growing up, and I don't remember my parents ever offering me lotion. Like I don't think
crazy.
They didn't even know. And my girl was kind of saying the same thing, that she used to have dry skin and her parents never offered a lotion. I'm like, I just grew up in a lotionless fucking world. And I've mentioned this many times, but in 10th grade, there was a bunch of black people in my math class, and that's when I found out about lotion.
That's the whitest shit I've ever heard.
White people don't fuck with lotion like that.
That is crazy, dog.
I use it a bit now. And my kid has dry skin, so we use the lotion with her.
Cocoa butter lotion.
They didn't offer you lotion, dog. So you just going out in the world just crazy,
ashy
skelly.
as fuck all day.
He lizard skin.
It wasn't that bad, but you know, I probably could have used some lotion.
Eczema's pretty bad though.
It can get bad. Yeah.
My
You
son
got
has
eczema.
My son got that shit bad.
Really?
Hell yeah. Everywhere.
My son used to have that.
Yeah, he be scratching like a motherfucker.
You ever see a homeless person and you're just kind of admiring their ashiness?
No.
They got like an ashy elbow that extends like all the way down to their arm or their hand.
That's fucked up. I be wanting to help him out.
We should like in the
Give him some lotion.
Homeless care packages should include lotion though, like 1,000%. Instead of just like regular hygiene products, I think throwing some lotion in there is a good idea.
I've thought about going to Skid Row and just giving out hand jobs.
Yeah, you tripping.
Just to help them get some relief. Like, I'm not gay, but I'm a humanitarian.
That's the stupidest shit ever heard.
That was a Danny Mullen joke that's not going over. What are you talking
We're a
about?
homophobe.
Dude,
This nigga
that didn't
dumb.
go over well with us, man.
Homeless phobe.
All right, I got to take a piss. I'll be right back.
Come on, dog.
I hate this. Doing podcasts with the creatine freshly pumping through my system.
It's the bang. You still drinking that?
No, I just put creatine in the coffee every morning now.
Ooh. I'm gonna go to Muffin Can't Stop Us after this, man. Yeah, give me that's the only coffee that I will fucking drink now. Shit is called a Cubano. It's fucking amazing.
Shit hit hard.
Yeah, I'm going over there after this. What's the deal with everybody, man?
I'm chilling.
How you feel this nigga be calling you like, he tripping on you, straw hat man and all this shit now?
It makes him feel better about himself.
You gotta knock this nigga out.
It makes him feel a lot better about himself. Now, you know what? It's crazy because we were talking about this on Ace Boys the other day.
Speaking of that, bro, I commend you for going on there.
Bro,
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, for a minute, Rios was looking at you and you were looking like want to get away. I was like, oh,
nah,
shit.
to be honest with you, it's not. They're all.
Oh my god!
It
He was
wasn't.
trying to get the fuck up out
Let's
of
want to
there.
get the fuck out of there.
It wasn't like that at all. Like beforehand, like Rios is like the nicest guy out of all.
Coolest
of them, to be
nigga,
honest.
man.
Yeah, like he's cool as fuck. Like it wasn't even and they told me, I'm not gonna say who they said that I was like the chillest out of anyone that they had over there, and I'm not gonna say who they said was legitimately terrified and who they wanted to fire on, but it is.
We know.
Yeah, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
YK. But they were basically saying, because they were like, oh, you're a house phone's replacement, and I was like, no, technically I'm not. Technically, TRell.
No, technically is you.
Why?
Because
How?
the reason that you got here is that house phone missed so much. You happen to be in the corner, and we like, hey man, come over here and try this.
Right.
And the people fucked with you.
But house phone was there that episode. That episode that you're talking
But
about.
he came late.
He
though.
did. He did come late.
So
You're right.
technically, I'm your replacement.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. It wasn't until house phone left. that
It's not,
TRell
bro, I was replacement. It doesn't matter.
Wow.
They wanted me to be replacement.
Okay,
All this
so
replacement
all
people
that to
is
say,
crazy.
Yeah.
all that to say, maybe they were right.
I mean, redacted. I'm sorry.
Maybe I am house
Edit
phones.
that.
Maybe I am house phones replacement because Adam used to get on house phones helmet about a bunch of shit like that.
You definitely
and now,
took the
so
shit down.
yeah,
You better stand up for yourself,
I'm curious,
hoe ass nigga.
Adam. Adam, do you feel like was I house phones replacement
Yes.
or is TRell house phones replacement?
Your house phone replacement.
It is weird how House Phone was like technically removed from the No Jumper show in such a non-ceremonious way, or like at
He just
some point
wasn't showing up.
Yeah, at that time, like nobody, it wasn't a big deal because everybody just kind of like understood.
You never told him,
Bro,
don't come.
if you would have came on here,
As soon
and
as
you
he started trying to come back, like a few weeks later, we were like, yeah.
If you would have came on here and you would have sucked, Adam would not have told you to stay on the show.
For
The
sure.
comments was great. Everybody was like, we like Lush's energy. It kept being good. You feel me? And then Adam was like, all right, you the new.
We did really need someone in that moment. So right place, right time. Yeah.
Yeah, but
replacement guy.
But no, check this out. Check
You should
this
buy him a
out.
shirt of that band, The Replacements.
Fire.
That would be a good reference.
Nah, but then,
Good callback.
but then, the four of us were here. Adam or house phone left, and motherfucking AC Green stepped off the bench.
You're both house
And-
phone replacements.
That nigga is not AC Green. That's Kobe right there. Put some respect on
He
his
was a
name.
sixth man though in this context.
He wasn't a sixth man.
Well, he was off the bench.
Nah, man. Adam was like, "Fuck it. House phone is gone. I need my power player. Come over here. Come
I
sit
mean,
with
that-
it." He didn't even ask him. He was just like, "TRell, be here on this time."
Well, but it is kind of a weird
That is
thing that
true.
like
That is true.
TRell's become like more and more a big part of the channel, but then meanwhile we were not on camera together ever. So it did seem kind of like a
You
natural
didn't fuck
thing.
with him like that.
You did the initial interview of
Yeah,
T-Real.
whole ass
Yeah,
nigga
but I'm
was
saying
hating.
not like
motherfucker.
it's not like we were
Hater
on here
ass
together every
nigga.
week. No, he thinks he should be on every show.
No, Lush thinks he should be on every
That's
show.
definitely Lush.
Nah,
Remember Lush
I
was
don't-
like disconnected, like
I said
for a
Lush.
while?
Every fucking thumb I seen is
The Monday
Lush,
show.
Lush.
they was asking for me.
Hey, he was
But
like,
that's when like
What
the
the
sort of
fuck?
like Lush, like anti-Lush wave started, was like when you were like maybe on the camera a little too much.
Damn, the anti-Lush?
Well, it was
little while.
bro, cause this
it
nigga
started
this
with
nigga-
T-Rail's punk ass. Really,
What
like,
No,
I
bro,
do.
Yeah.
you behind the scenes is telling me, hey,
that didn't fucking
hey,
happen.
Hey, Flacco, you want me to join your show?
That
Gina,
never-
if you
dog.
get a
Did
show,
not.
I'm down
Yes,
for
it
you.
did.
This Almighty.
Fucking
If
lie.
you want to be on the show, I'll be down for
This
you.
is a fucking lie.
He gonna be on almighty shit in a minute.
This. Oh, I promise you.
And I
That's
bet you
not
if we
gonna
say,
happen.
hey man, join back on Fig and join Community, you gonna be like,
No.
for sure, I'm there.
Nah, I'll fuck with y'all. I'll come on your shit. Like, but pause.
Coming
But
on your shit.
Pause.
Yeah. But I do.
That's brown and white.
But nah. Whoa.
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 So you don't feel like you overextended yourself with like everything
did.
on the channel? You did everything except We Hungry, bro. Let's keep it real.
I did We Hungry.
God damn.
So damn.
This nigga.
I did-
Wow.
I
You
did-
did Disconnected too?
I did this.
He was part of
God
this connect.
damn.
No, but
I was on like 4 episodes.
that's like a concern
Shit.
though, because
The Monday show.
like I have a new host right now. I have a couple new hosts that realistically are probably going to be entering the No Jumper universe. Not people that you guys really know
Ooh.
necessarily, but like I have a few new hosts, and it's kind of like weird to me in my head because it's like it would be easy. Like in this case, I kind of like know that the people are going to fuck with at least one of them like a lot. It would be hella easy to put them on camera. Hey, you're going to be on the news 3 times a week. You're going to be on this pod. But it's also like you got to really. I think you got to give the people some of them, but you don't want to like completely flood their fucking
It's a
ears with that
balance.
person over and over. You know,
It's
yeah.
definitely-
but
balance.
it's a balance because like look what happened with God Tier. There was like no connection. We were the redheaded children of No Jumper. Nobody was fucking with us. And if it wasn't for y'all bringing me on the pod when y'all did, y'all never would have known that I actually could have potentially worked over here.
But that's why the
And-
news is good, is because we're able to like introduce people more gradually like that and like see what they think of them and everything.
I agree.
But it's
Well, like-
also it's kind of complicated too because you just sometimes you want to try people out because all right, like the Long Beach Griffy thing. His podcast has not been doing that great views wise. I feel like if we had introduced him better through this shit
It
or
would've done
through some
better.
other show, that it would have just like we would have been able to make him more of like part of the friend group, and then people would be paying more.
I think he's funny as fuck.
I do too, but I think I made the mistake of assuming like, oh, he has 3 million YouTube subscribers. We could just give him a show. We don't have to like make him part of the crew. And that's how I always feel when people are like, start a No Jumper East Coast. Like I have a studio out here. You can start a studio. I'm like, if I just do No Jumper East Coast and it's just some guy that like I've been talking to on Instagram, like what the fuck? Like how is that No Jumper? It's not No Jumper unless the people involved actually like make sense as part of this group. Otherwise, the fans aren't
I
interested.
think
It's
that
not too
people.
late.
I think that people should like the people they're watching this. They should have the say so of who is going to work and stuff like that. You know what
and
I
they
mean?
do
Like,
essentially.
Yeah, to the most part.
Because
But-
if the views aren't good, then
And
Shit
but
ends
I
with
do
this.
agree. I do agree that I did get a little oversaturated for a minute, but I also
You did
like,
it yourself.
but I mean, like, I wanted the opportunity. I was just trying to work.
And I respect that.
In fact,
I respect that.
I asked you, I was like, do you feel like I'm getting oversaturated? And you said, nah, get on as much shit as you possibly
Well, I didn't
can.
say do every show.
You literally
I said try to. If,
I asked you. I remember the conversation well because you're someone I consult with about this
No,
shit.
100%,
I was
100%.
like, do you feel like I'm doing too much and getting oversaturated? And you're like, nah, fuck that. Do as much as you possibly can.
Nigga, that was originally before all the other shit came. You was like, you start whispering people's ears. I'll be available for you. I'm like,
I
nigga.
But I didn't think he was oversaturated.
He's Batman and Bane. He's evil and good.
I'm Two-Face.
I didn't think.
Yeah.
I didn't think
You
he
are
was
Two-Face.
There you go.
Harvey
All right.
Dent.
Nobody ever call him Batman again.
You don't think I did too much though?
No.
Well, here we are now. It is what it is.
I mean, I think about that with myself. Like, how many podcasts could I do, and how many would be good for me to do?
Well,
I only have 2.
It's cool. It's cool at first, but like once you start getting adjusted, you be like, this is a lot.
I know a lot of comedians who have like 5 podcasts that they do every week.
Well, doesn't it feel kind of good though that you could essentially not show up for a few days and there's still going to be content churning out and everything's going to be cool.
Yeah, I need a clone though. I'm going away for a month. I need something like a clone.
Go on Wayfair.
The children stuck in the boxes or whatever.
You don't know what Wayfair is?
Yeah.
The children stuck in the box.
Children smugglers.
Yeah.
They
They had
shit,
that.
I didn't know that.
They had that rumor.
I'm trying to stay away from that.
Jesus Christ.
Can we talk about The Last of Us?
The best game, one of the best games of all time.
I just want to say, as long as Riley's sitting right there, that the only reason why I watched this show is because I did that interview with Bizzle and Catfish, and Bizzle started crying his eyes out, and he was talking about, I cry when I watch movies, man. I seen that Last of Us episode 3. I cry my eyes out, and I fucking it's so serious. I'm just like jaw dropped, and then I hear Riley just snickering under her breath. So I knew it had to be something good. So I watched the whole show just to like see what the fuck he was talking about. Spoiler: there's like that episode is basically the gay episode.
You know what's crazy is that is the only episode from the show that has not been like an absolute carbon copy of the video game. And like in the game, you kind of like Bill, you see it, it's insinuated that he might be gay.
Okay,
but they never dive into that.
Big spoilers if you haven't watched this on HBO. But at one point in the show, so the whole show is basically like the world has been taken over by this insane pandemic virus that's like absolutely like killing everybody and turning people into like fucking flesh-eating zombies and shit like that, right? And there's one dude who's smart enough to basically like hide in his basement while they're evacuating his whole town, and then he basically like sets up, you know, big fences around his whole thing and stuff. So he's like one of the last people living in this town, and a dude like basically like escapes and he's on the run and he's like dying of hunger and shit, and he just shows up at this guy's house and he brings him in and he gives him a meal and he lets him shower and everything, and then when he's supposed to be going on his way, they end up making out, and it turns out they're both gay, and they spend the next however many years, 20 years, like in love with each other or whatever. And I was thinking about it, I'm like, is that like a forced gay storyline? Like, does it feel kind of like tacked on?
It could have easily been a man and a woman.
But it couldn't have, because number one, a woman is not going to like take on the responsibility most often that this dude did of like creating this fucking compound with.
No, the woman could have been the other person.
No, but I'm saying that would have been really problematic too, because then there would have been this sort of power balance of like, you know, you wouldn't be able to accept the idea that this guy has all the power and that this woman comes into his world and like, oh, look at this love story. Like, I felt like only through it being 2 men were we able to see it as being like sort of equal and balanced.
Spoiler alert, in the video game, there's a prominent section with Bill. He doesn't die. So that's kind of like, for TV, they're switching things up. They kind of like leave
He's
him.
gay in the video game, though?
It's kind of insinuated that he's gay because you find his partner, like he hung himself in the game, and then he reads this note basically, and he's like, kind of like, you're like, all right, he might be gay.
He a little bit too sad.
Like the first time I played the game in 2013. I didn't think nothing of him being gay. When I redid the game about a couple months ago, I said, oh yeah, now it's really insinuated that.
Yeah.
So you're cosplaying as a gay dude, essentially.
Basically.
Yeah.
Well, he also watches deep fake gay porn as well.
Oh no.
Wow.
Oh no. Hey, no, but that show, like, I love that show. It's beautifully acted, but like, the fact that I played that game so many times, it's like, damn, it's literally a carbon copy
But
of
are
the
you
game.
having fun watching the show?
I'm having fun because I'm happy people are getting into the world. And you know what I'm saying? One of my favorite games of all time. But it's like the excitement for me. I know everything that's about to happen. Whereas like, it's different like when you read a book and you know something's about to come. But when you play something multiple times and it's like, it's moving basically exactly the same thing. Like the next episode and the finale, if they land the finale, that's what I want to see. If they land the finale, it's going to go down probably as one of the best.
Is the
in
game
TV history.
like open world, or is it more like
It's linear, but it's still open world. You could do things without doing that. But
Side quests.
the second game, because they already greenlit another season. It's only 2 games to go off of. The third game is probably going to come out a year or 2 from now. But the second game is 50 times more brutal. It's fucking crazy. Like if they play that out and act that out too on the second game, on the second season, it's going to be crazy.
Bro, and I don't like all the zombie shit, horror movies, whatever, but there's a scene from like an episode or 2 ago where the ground just opens up and like 5,000 fucking zombies are just coming out and
And
killing
you see that big nigga come
Yes.
out?
Oh my god, and the bullets won't kill him.
So-
this must be so weird to people because I never talk about shows
Yeah.
like this.
So
That's crazy.
So that's kind of when you see one of those for the first time in the game, you're with Bill. You go to this high school.
I'm gonna fuck him.
Pause. You go to this high school, and that big ass thing is in like a fucking gym, and you have to kill that thing in it. So you're running around a little small ass gym with Bill, and you got to kill that shit. So I was like, probably because of the CGI, it was gonna be super expensive for them to do that shit. That they was probably went the other route, which was
That's what I like when you're watching TV shows and shit is that they can only afford to like in a 1 hour episode, they can only afford to give you like 2 minutes of zombies.
I like when storylines actually follow it to like yeah, because if you look at like as someone I grew up a fanatic of Marvel comics in general, but
I didn't read the comics, but I was a fan.
That's how I know I got bad taste because I was a DC guy.
I fucked
DC's
with
fire.
I fucked with
I know,
DC.
it's not as big as Marvel.
Nigga, James Gunn he's
I fucked
doing
with
all the shit
Batman.
now. He's the nigga.
I didn't really fuck
I'm
with
a
DC.
Transformer guy.
I fucked with that's Marvel.
Same.
That's technically Marvel, but
Ain't that Hasbro?
yes, but there was like in the 80s there was like Marvel Comics Transformers. But it's not part of the MCU though. But basically like if you watch the original Spider-Man movies and X-Men movies, they don't really there's a lot of allusions to the comics, but it's not like dead
Following
on.
a storyline. They don't have to follow a storyline, I feel like,
No.
with Spider-Man and shit like
They don't,
that.
they
Even
don't.
Batman, like
Well, it's-
Batman, it can do whatever the fuck he want to do, really.
Well, it's like,
But it threw me off.
Yeah, I mean, long as I can get the villains in there, long if I can get those, like, those initial villains in there, that's cool. But Batman can go
well,
do
this
whatever
is
he want.
this is
Batman's all about the villains.
this is the fucked up thing about the whole Marvel situation. The comics weren't doing good at all. So Marvel had sold their properties to different studios, and that's why it's up until now, you didn't have a lot of these people on screen with each other. Because in the comics, the Avengers, whereas the X-Men people were in there, the Fantastic Four people were in there. So, Marvel, they wasn't doing too good. They sold Spider-Man and all their properties to Sony. They sold Fantastic Four and X-Men to Fox.
so they couldn't overlap.
Because Iron Man wasn't really like a big person like that. And Marvel, they said, fuck it. We're going to start that shit off. It blew the fuck up. Then Thor came and they started doing that shit. So now Disney put the bag up and they bought everything back.
Yeah, superhero movies weren't really like a big deal when we were in high school.
At
and
all.
shit, yeah.
It was literally
Blade.
when we were in high school, there was the Batman franchise and Spawn and Blade, and that's literally
And
it.
shout out to
And
Spawn.
Spawn
I
is
fuck with
Image.
Spawn.
That's Image Comics.
And that's what's it, Michael Jaleel White. What's my guy name?
Jaleel White's Urkel.
No, Urkel is Jaleel White. But what's
Yeah.
Michael? Fuck.
Michael B. Jordan?
No, nigga. We just talked about him not too long
Michael
ago.
Jordan without
No.
the B.
I'm
the
sorry.
dude who played Spawn. You talking about?
He's the first.
Yeah.
He's
Todd
really
McFarlane.
No, he's the
That was the
first
writer.
black
Is the writer.
superhero to be on there, and then it was
Blade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black Panther. Spawn was black.
That's
Spawn
what I'm
was
saying.
black, yeah.
That was the first like black superhero.
And-
Well, technically,
Well, there's-
Meteor Man.
Well, but not in movies. But it was in comics. Luke Cage, Power Man.
I was
the
obsessed with this
first.
dude back in the day who was an artist for Image Comics named Rob Liefeld. And you should look up articles about him because he was kind of like famous for like not being that good at drawing superheroes, and I was like really into this as a young guy.
He was raw, and Jim Lee was super raw. He used to do
Yeah.
all the like X-Men in the early 90s.
But Rob Liefeld took it way too far.
Yeah.
He was just like straight smoking meth with some of those feet he'd be drawing. But anyway, I really got into superheroes in 1992 when Superman was killed.
I have that issue.
Doomsday.
Yeah.
Doomsday killed
Yep.
him, and I
Yep.
remember being a kid and just being like, Superman could die. What the fuck? And then I got it, and he's back to life like 3 issues later.
It was called The Death of Superman. That was a crazy issue.
And I when I just Googled it to see what year it was, the fucking image that comes up with the fucking Superman cape,
Yep.
like hanging like he's dead under the ground.
And they just
was
did
the
that in the
cover.
movies too.
I think this was like 75 cents. if
And
you
how
bought
did he
it,
come
right?
back to life?
He
wasn't really dead.
I don't know. It was like he's Superman. You can't kill him.
But that was like at
They
that
just, like,
time.
put him under the ground, and then like something sparked it, and he came back up, right?
People, I encourage.
I don't remember because they just did that, and Superman came back and they was tripping on him. He didn't know he was just attacking people.
During that same time, there was hella dope Marvel comics. Fox, I think it was either Fox or ABC or I think it was Fox had crazy animated series. The Spider-Man animated series
Classic,
at that
X-Men.
time. The X-Men.
X-Men. I was just about to say X-Men. That's like if
That was
Transforming
hard.
X-Men is crazy.
And
I'm
they're
like
bringing
a super
they're
Wolverine
bringing
fan.
that back. It's called X-Men '97. It
That's
takes
the
place
shit.
right after how it ended as we was when we was kids.
That is the best. That lineup with Gambit and all them was so fire.
Yeah, Gambit, and that was a person too who they couldn't get on the movies like that.
Yeah,
girl,
which
too.
he's the best character too. He was always my favorite.
I'm listening to this really amazing podcast about JK Rowling, who's the author of Harry Potter. Like
Hogwarts Legacy is amazing.
Right, but I've been listening to this podcast about it on the Free Press. If anybody wants to check it out, it's like this really dope series about her life and everything. And one of the things that they pointed out was that a huge percentage of kids got really obsessed with Harry Potter because the basic gist of it is like he's a normal kid who doesn't have like a cool life or anything, and then he finds out that there's this whole world that is being hidden from him, and that's like a very appealing idea to kids because kids have boring lives, and the idea that you could just sort of like have this whole history to you that you don't know about, it's very attractive. And I was thinking, I'm like, I really didn't have that like desire for like fantasy or like or magic when I was a kid. And then I thought about how I used to read Wolverine and really, really wish that I could shoot the metal claws out of my hands like that. Like, and so I was like, I guess that was my version of Harry Potter. But
they also before that there was like the Chronicles of Narnia. Like there is always a demand for shit like that.
I ain't getting in nobody's closet.
But nah, it's just kind of.
You never got out of it.
I was always in tune with I was always in tune with like the bad guy, but still the good guy. It's kind of like
Magneto.
It was kind of like Stone Cold, nigga, and Wolverine. I feel like they was the same motherfucker, the good guy and the bad guy.
No, Wolverine is definitely
that's
the
why
good
I
guy.
like
Punisher.
Batman.
But he still kind of was like the asshole though.
Yeah, he
Yeah, he was
was.
tripping.
Like
He
it was
was.
almost like the bad guy too.
He
Like,
was.
man, fuck y'all, I'm finna go do me.
But that's why I like Batman, because
Yeah.
Batman's like always in pain. He's like miserable. He's got
Tortured.
billions of dollars. He feels horrible about everything. His body hurts. He's wearing a 400-pound suit. All this shit. He got the coolest car in the world. He's still pissed off. I don't know. That always just like really appealed to me.
I hella fuck
Deep
with.
voice too.
People really love Batman other than Superman.
Bro,
Superman's a bitch compared to
fools
fucking-
don't.
It's just too positive.
Just like fools don't fuck with. Fools don't fuck with Cyclops from the X-Men because he's like too much of a
Yeah,
goody
he's a
two shoes.
bitch.
Fools don't fuck with Leonardo from the Ninja Turtles. Anyone
What the
that
fuck you mean, nigga? I got that tat on the blue one, nigga.
Nobody-
Leonardo,
Leonardo, that
he was
nigga.
the-
Think about Homelander.
Leonardo the weakest one.
Michelangelo,
Hell
boy.
no,
He's the
Leonardo
weakest-
ain't the
he's the
weakest,
weakest one.
Bro,
Bro.
Leonardo was the leader, nigga.
Yeah, exactly. But he's kind of a mark.
Now they write Homelander to be straight up evil from the
Yeah.
beginning. So it's like they know that people are going to go in
Did
that
you
direction.
see the trailer for the spinoff?
No, I don't watch trailers.
Nigga, the spinoff
What's the
trailer
spinoff?
of the college of the college kids with the powers. That's gonna be amazing.
Bro, my favorite comic book character of all time is Magneto. And he's a villain, but I feel like he does things for righteous causes. He's fighting for the purity of the mutant race. He doesn't like the way the mutants are getting oppressed.
Sounds
he
like
started
Hitler.
off he was a Jew in a concentration camp.
Yeah, he was.
He was in a concentration camp and he discovered his
They
powers
just
when
have
they were trying to
him and Charles have two different
Yeah.
views, but they're best friends.
But
What about
now-
Juggernaut?
But, hey, but now our childhood.
Juggernaut,
but
bitch.
Now childhood shit is just all Nigga, it's positive. It's no fucking bad guys. Nigga, at all.
The shit your kids watch?
Hell yeah.
Really?
Like every
Coco Melon.
fucking every Disney movie, ain't no fucking bad guys. Like they
There's
not
bad guys everywhere.
like only bad guy we know is the Grinch.
He ain't even a bad guy.
But that's
The
old
Grinch
as
not a
fuck.
bad
He
guy.
is.
he stole
damn
some
near a
shit and
bad
he
guy.
gave it back.
When I'm watching Pinocchio, they got that scary ass whale Monstro, and then I forget what the other dude's name. There's some other dude who's like capturing
the
little
fucking-
kids and
the fucking
hiding them
fox.
away and shit. Oh, the fox is fucked up. There's a lot of villains in Pinocchio, but I think they realized at a certain point that it's not really worth it. That if you want to appeal to young kids, you can't have anybody evil.
There's
Bro.
really no new properties like that.
It's
Avatar.
nothing. They just bringing up new shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nah, but
they
Disney
just
still makes new
redoing
movies
old
all the
shit.
time, right?
Nah, but it's literally like because they were taking so many L's, they're like, we need to rehash franchises that we know we're gonna be
Yeah,
successful.
like Guardians of the
So-
Galaxy wasn't, nobody knew about him like that.
Yeah.
And the movie came out and made James Gunn go, now he about to run all the DC movies. So I'm looking
You
forward to
don't
that.
see movies like Forrest Gump anymore.
No.
Things like that. That whole era is completely gone.
People won't take a risk on like a
Exactly.
movie that doesn't
I
consist of
got
characters they
one
already
for
know
you too for
about.
DC that you'll like.
What?
It's called Peacemaker. It's on HBO Max. Probably one of the best openings I've ever seen.
Really?
It's John Cena. He's just like, he's super gangster. He don't give a fuck. He want to fuck
John
I
bitches
heard
and
that
kill
shit was
people.
tight.
It's fire.
He's like Punisher, kind of.
He's like worse.
I saw a clip of some old ass DX, The Rock, etc. like footage from like 20 years ago, and it just made me like, oh my god, why did I ever stop watching this shit?
The
It
Rock
was
is
a
fire.
beautiful thing, man. Like Stone Cold just getting like, because it's like The Rock runs into the ring, and then Kane runs into the ring, and it's like, bro, this is like a Monday fucking night show, like, or it's like a, it's
Monday Night
not
Raw.
a pay-per-view. It's not, and it's not Monday Night Raw. It's like a random Thursday or some shit, and they got all these superstars in the ring at the same time in a way that would just never happen now unless it was like WrestleMania or some shit.
That era was incredible.
Come
Yeah.
on, Mankind,
That
The Rock,
was a
Stone
fucking
Cold.
dope era for wrestling.
That shit
But
was crazy.
It's It's funny that that this all was the catalyst of you even watching this show and this whole conversation was Bizzle. I just want to go on record and saying I fuck with Bizzle so heavy. I definitely want to do some content. I think Lush and
Oh,
Bizzle.
there you go.
We gotta bring him back.
See, Les wants
He's
another
trying to
show
find-
now. He's trying to start another.
Man,
Come on,
fuck you.
You're
Man,
both in
fuck.
recovery. We have a lot in common.
No, legit. Like a lot of people hit me up and said that too, and then like I like that episode a lot.
I wanna bring
don't
him
know
back,
about your
but-
man's catfish.
Who
I don't
more
know.
black?
neither.
Bizzle?
After that, I
Who
don't
more
know
black,
either,
Bizzle
yeah.
or Lush?
I don't know about.
No, but there's a Christian
I see
rapper.
it.
There's a Christian rapper from back in the day
It's a
named.
wobbler.
There's a Christian rapper from back in the day named Bizzle who's pissed off about Bizzle being called Bizzle.
He's
Bro,
a Christian rapper.
Everyone has a homie named Bizzle. Like
For sure.
literally. Like I
Because
got,
we have another
Frida-
homie named Biz. And everybody, and the security was mad confused because I told them, I'm like, yo, there's a dude Bizzle coming. He's kind of out of control. Keep him away from everybody else until we're ready to do the podcast. And then my friend Biz shows up, who's like the most straight-laced dude ever. And he's like wondering why the security put him in here by himself.
Free the homie Bizzle, man. That's the one that was like, I'm the, what's the shit the homie said before?
What?
He said, I'm the one when he knocked the nigga out. You remember that?
What?
God damn it.
What?
What did he
I
say?
don't know. He knocked somebody out, maybe.
All right, we'll talk about it later.
He jumped into there's like a park near downtown, and there's like 4 foot deep water in this little like fake pond that's in the, and, it's like near downtown. So you could assume that there's probably like cholera and DNA in the fucking water.
like
and
near
everything.
MacArthur Park and shit.
It might be MacArthur
Yeah,
Park.
yeah,
I forget. But either way, this motherfucker, Bizzle, we're filming a BMX video. Everybody's riding or whatever. And he just goes, hey, you want me to jump into the fucking water for your video? This is like 10 years ago. I'm like, yes.
There's dead bodies in there.
Bro, he fucking takes his clothes off and fucking run. Well, he's had shorts on or whatever, and jumps in there and immediately cuts the fucking bottom of his feet open. And there's hella duck shit. And then he just has to get out. His feet are all torn open. There's shit all over him. I'm like, bro, you are the craziest fucking person I've ever met in my entire life. Nobody else would ever do this.
I could answer your question that you asked.
What? What's the question? What's wrong with white people?
No. He said, "Who's black, or you or Bizzle?"
Shit. Well, you now.
Apparently,
I don't know. Sorry.
I said it was a wobbler.
That was
That's
white
wobble.
people shit.
Yeah,
I like a wobble.
that's
Ain't no wobbler, goddamn.
not no
that.
more.
I'm not having duck shit.
I'm smooth.
With a cut fucking foot open.
But
No,
Bizzle,
that's how, dog.
but Bizzle
That's probably how he got
definitely,
powers.
definitely needs some,
Duckman.
He needs another no jumper look.
We got to do
1000%.
something with him. I'm just like kind of worried because I don't know how stable he is.
For real? He seemed chill.
Yeah. But I've known him to be like very much alternatingly chill and insane throughout his life. Like, I don't know how stable his state of being is, but
Yeah, bro. Other guy was kind of a dick, bro. He was
Catfish
being-
did not do himself any
Catfish was
favors.
being mean, bro.
Yeah.
I don't want to
It was very mean.
trying to talk down on the boy Bizzle.
How dare he?
Catfish is being very mean.
I didn't. He was very mean.
That was
new
white
show-
too, so we might go back wobbler, man, because
It's a
that was
wobbler.
white.
New show
back,
coming to No
Wobbler.
Jumper. Lush and Bizzle.
Wait, so you're turning your back
kinda
on
lit.
Wobbler because I told you that it was kind of like
Fuck no.
it was like saying, "Oh, that's interesting."
Oh yeah. That was great, but that was great though. Like, damn. If you break it down,
I
that
thought
is
wobbler
crazy.
means it could go either way.
It
That's
can go
what
either
that's what
way.
it means.
Yeah.
It's a wobbler.
But that's what interesting is. It's like, well, I'm not saying I like it. I'm not saying I don't like it, but it's definitely interesting.
That's called playing both sides of the fence.
That's well because
He like AD. He's playing both
Stephen
sides
A.
of the
Smith
fence.
went on a rant against his co-host because his co-host kept saying that everything was interesting.
Can we
wobbler.
can we just say that these diss tracks were really like a great way for everyone to get out how they really felt
We don't
in
give
a
a
creative
fuck
way?
about your diss tracks no more. Okay?
He just
We
quoted
don't
it.
care,
He
dog.
just quoted it, Dick.
You got the
He
diss
just
track shit
quoted
off.
it.
We not gonna talk about diss tracks for fucking
Yeah, you
2
trash, Lush.
and a half hours.
That's how you really feel.
We out of
That's
here
how
on
you
this
really
diss
feel.
track
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I will admit that I was pretty hyped on your first diss, and then you just started explaining it, and my mood just went from like pretty hyped to like, I don't really like rap anymore.
Hey, the people liked it. I don't know what the
The
fuck
second
you're
one,
talking
he was
about.
like,
The
AD does not want this to come out. He does not.
I know.
I was
Dude,
like,
no,
bro.
the 3-minute like thing at the end of being like, I didn't want to do this, but I did it because
Lush has some, bro. Lush does.
I was
one
getting
thing.
threats.
Yeah, nigga, because you
threats.
you text the nigga who you
No,
dissed and
it
said,
wasn't even-
I shouted
there's-
you out.
I'm not even gonna get into it, but there's other shit.
I didn't threaten you.
No, you didn't.
Okay. But this nigga Lush, though, he does this every time, and I notice this. When I'm in the room or I'm on the phone, he will say the nicest things. As soon as I walk away or say something, he be like, oh, yeah, whatever. You done that 2 times already. When you was a China Mac, he was like, you're a great artist, you're this and everything. And as soon as I hang up, I love you, bro. As soon as I hang up the phone,
Bitch.
he can't handle me. He can't fuck with me. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean,
Then when we're on the camera, I leave the room to talk to TRell. He's like, he doesn't want this to come out. He doesn't want it. I'm like, bitch, play this shit then, nigga. I ain't scared of your fucking diss track.
well, you were beforehand saying.
I definitely was not scared. I said, my brother gonna whoop your
I didn't
ass
say
if
scared.
you put it out there. And I said, if that's what you want to do,
Whoa.
then nigga, go ahead and do it.
You were telling me like it's probably not the best idea.
Because you're gonna get your ass
And
whooped.
then at that moment,
I don't want you to get punched on.
and then in that moment, you were like, "Put it out, blame AD, blame
No,
AD."
because when you're sitting there saying he don't want me to drop this and he don't want no nigga, you were thinking about not dropping it. I didn't hear it and say, Lush, don't do this. You was like, I don't think I should do this because you're gonna get punched on. And I'm like, Lush, if you drop this, Skeezer might fuck you up.
there was-
So you was the one that was contemplating
for the record,
not
there
wanting
was
to drop
for the
it.
record, there was never any conversation of getting punched on. It was just that.
No, I
that-
told you Keekee ain't gonna like this, which means get your ass whooped.
you-
It's still pending.
but there was
the ass whooping.
Yeah.
Your ass whooping pin.
Look.
he don't like getting spoken on, so I'm not gonna say nothing else.
You already did it. You my nigga though.
There's nothing else to really
So
say. But
this is the last question. Do you want me to be Batman or do you want me to be Two-Face in this situation?
what do you think is more effective?
Nigga, fuck your diss track. Fuck both of y'all diss tracks. I ain't trying to hear that shit no more. Let's get Latto in the
Oh
booth.
man.
Yeah, we're loud.
Let's get Latto in the booth.
Yes.
We've
get
been
Latto
watching
in
this
the booth.
video play on the screen for the last hour and a half.
Let's get Latto
Come
on
on,
the.
yeah, fucking
Dude,
Charlie Brown.
how many views did we just get the fucking No Jumper Twitter on
Latto
this
in.
video?
This shit been playing for 2
I
hours.
know, man. We just
Let's get Latto on
Charlie
the poll.
Brown. Who watched Charlie Brown when they was little?
I watched Charlie Brown.
Damn, that
All
shit's way
day.
too old, huh?
Yeah, I love that
As,
shit.
as the youngest person on this cast now, that's some old nigga shit.
you're-
I'm on my almighty
you're in
shit.
the- you're in the
you
same
niggas
age
old as
group,
dirt.
fool.
You gonna die.
Yeah.
What was the
I
black
watched
kid
Charlie
on
Brown.
Charlie
Never watched
Brown?
it.
Clarence?
That's fucked
What
up.
was that little fucker's name?
Called that nigga.
Wait, who was
Clarence.
Pigpen?
Pigpen
He wasn't
was-
black.
Pigpen was white. Pigpen was a dirty
That's
white
the
boy.
dirty nigga.
All right, back to Googling. Who was the Black Peanuts character? Black penis.
Did
like
he have
peanut?
pause?
Peanuts character. If his name was actually Clarence, I wouldn't be hyped. Franklin. That was
Franklin, yep. I remember
Shout out to
close.
Franklin.
Oh, that's like
Watch-
Flacco. Isn't
watch-
he a Franklin?
Watch Snowfall, man.
Hey, did
Last
you
season.
Oh, it's one episode.
Hey, did you watch the Cosby Show when you were younger?
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Hit the pudding.
That's tight, dog.
I ate pudding too.
So you did?
And Jello.
So the whole family, did y'all get together in the living room and watch the Cosby's?
Look at these niggas on TV.
I guess sometimes. I watch a lot of Family Matters.
Family
Family
Matters,
was
lit.
good.
I was deep in Family Matters.
Family Matters was actually really good.
It's
man.
a record this day and age. Really good news in the newspaper page.
You know what's funny?
Some people say
Look at Laura. I don't remember a word.
it's the big enough of family.
Damn, they don't have no jingles like that no more.
Nah. they
Was
used to
that
be
their
fire.
song, or did that song previously
was their
exist?
song. That
Wait,
was-
wait. Let's
that was
find
their
out.
song.
Family.
It's called Days Go By.
They had some hard ones though.
Family Matters theme. I remember the melody of it, but I can't remember a single fucking word.
Okay,
It's a rare condition.
I'm old as hell. Did you watch Gilligan's Island?
Yeah.
No.
Oh
But that
shit!
but reruns, obviously.
Were you mad at Gilligan?
You're
I
a
wanted
Gilligan.
To, I wanted,
I've never.
I
heard-
wanted to fuck
I've
Mary Ann.
I've never seen
I
Gilligan's
wanted
Island
to
ever.
fuck Mary
Bro,
Ann. I still want to
Did
fuck
you
Mary
watch
Ann.
I Love Lucy?
Yeah, yeah.
My
When it
grandma
came
used,
on.
my grandparents, my
Lucy was the
grandparents.
funniest. Man, she was dumb funny, bruh.
That nigga Ricky was slapping the shit out
Hey,
of her.
that was very progressive.
Lucy.
Until I figured out she was racist.
Was she?
Oh, they gonna cut.
Doesn't it bring back so many memories?
They gonna strike us. They gonna strike us.
No, you know who got one of the best
I
ones
gotta keep it
ever?
going. Yo, Harriet though.
Harriet.
Harriet though.
I love
One
Lucy.
of the best ones.
Auntie
Theme
Velma.
songs was Cheers.
Oh yeah.
I think
yeah.
this Family
When
Matters.
everybody knows your name.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's white.
It's hard though.
Fire.
Were there black people on that show?
Boom, boom, boom. I don't know. I ain't never watched it.
Lucy
That was
wasn't
the theme song.
racist though.
Lucy was racist.
Why?
dog.
She had a Cuban husband.
Yeah, and they both were racist.
Hey, what are their homies' name? Wasn't it like Phil and Ethel?
Yeah.
Phil and Ethel was
Yeah,
racist
yeah.
too.
They look racist,
Show.
to be fair. Phil and Ethel look
Bro,
racist.
she had one fucking episode where she was she worked at the chocolate factory, homie.
That was fire.
That shit probably the funniest
Fire.
shit
Hey,
ever.
did you
dog.
see that they had to change the text in the books of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory to make it so that it's not making fun of fat people?
Really?
Really?
Yeah, because you know when she fucking
Augustus
eats,
Gloop?
Yeah, she eats the purple shit or whatever, and she blows up into like a huge
Oh.
grape. And like in the original book, it was like basically talking about her like she was this disgusting fat thing or whatever. And they changed that. They changed mad shit.
But that's
from-
not even the fat. The fat dude is Augustus Gloop who gets stuck in the chocolate river.
I can't remember, but they fucking changed
That
the
bitch
language
name was
about
Violet.
people being fat.
Yeah, Violet.
But fun fact, they have a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory prequel movie coming out.
That's
Yeah.
kind of.
Is it the Mr.Beast YouTube video about him creating?
No, they got a real movie coming out about him before he got a Chocolate Factory.
I didn't fuck with the Johnny Depp version of that. I like the
It
original.
was all right.
Can I tell you about the most surreal thing that just happened to me? So I got hit up recently to do an interview with a person, a woman. I won't offer any sort of details that might confirm her identity, but the whole email that I got about why I should interview her was like, she's been connected to this dude, this guy, she dated this guy, yeah, like tons of like different connections in that way. So like she's done some shit that is valid like in the real world outside of the dating thing for sure, but like that was definitely going to be like kind of one of the most interesting things. And I just got hit up by Laura saying like her team doesn't want her to discuss anything about anybody she's ever dated.
Wow.
I said, no thanks. I'm
That
not
was-
doing that shit. There's nothing to talk about otherwise.
So she fucked Mr. Beast?
Quite possibly. I don't know.
Oh man, you
Hopefully
good?
It's not really the.
Mr. Beast got
It's not really the
hoes.
lane that she's been working within, as far as I can tell.
Do you
But
think Mr. Beast be slaying just like ridiculous poon?
no,
on
he
the
has a
reg?
girlfriend.
Okay.
How about to say, you the biggest YouTuber? Yeah.
You know what's funny is that Mr. Beast doesn't wear any designer or any fancy shit, but he went through this short period of time where he like came to LA and bought hella drip. So there's like very rare images of him like rocking a Gucci t-shirt and shit.
Well, usually Mr. Beast, he takes requests and stuff too. So I want to publicly say, Mr. Beast, please give me some LASIK eye surgery.
Does Mr. Beast
Send it to him.
How did he get his money?
It's a
Making YouTube
fucking
videos.
What's that video you
No.
showed me that broke
way.
down everything? That was
Sponsorship.
amazing.
He didn't come like, but he didn't come like pre-equipped.
Oh, he
with
comes.
some type of.
Oh,
No.
Pre-existing
all from
success, or-
YouTube. No.
Really?
He started his entire life. The only thing he's done has been make YouTube videos.
Wow.
Since he was like a small child, and he's
wasn't
like
he making
24
timer?
now.
He was making like timer videos or something like that.
He said Logan Paul 100,000 times. He counted to a million or some shit. I forget where they even were. But I remember one time Flacco was sitting there with Glasses Malone and started like
Shout out to G.
he was trying to explain who Mr. Beast was, and for some reason in Flacco's retarded brain, he's like, "Well, he counted to 1,000,000," and Glasses just sitting there like, "What the fuck? That
To be
sounds
fair,
stupid as hell." I'm like, that's like the worst thing that you could say to describe his content.
To
Flacco.
be fair, before I came in No Jumper, I did not know who Mr. Beast was.
Yeah.
I didn't know who David Dobrik was. I didn't know about
If
none
I
of
were
these
to
people.
describe him to Glasses Malone, I would say he's a regular ass suburban white kid who makes the craziest YouTube videos you've ever seen in your life. And if you look through his thumbnails, you're gonna see like 50 of them that you want to watch. I would leave out the counting to 1,000,000. I don't think that.
Well,
really...
I'd be like, he's this dude that gives away millions of dollars to
That's it,
random
yeah.
people, and he'll be an Uber driver, and then he'll give you the Tesla when he drops you off. He does. That's how I would describe him.
That shit
But-
sounds sick.
Right?
You never watched none of his shit?
Yes.
Yeah, it's that nigga.
When I saw him go to Antarctica, that's when I really knew he was crazy.
Yeah, he hard, dog.
Yeah.
No, when he remade the
The-
whole Squid Games
He
and
hard.
did that,
No,
I'm
the
like,
blind
oh my
people.
God. Yeah, that was dope as hell.
That was sick.
Oh, that is dope. But so him counting to 1,000,000, and I believe in 1,000,000 seconds is like 16 days. It's like
I
over
think he
2
counted to
weeks.
100,000 if I had to
Because in
remember.
order to count, if you're doing more than one, like if you're doing one per second, it's like literally.
I remember
that's like a week, 2 weeks and a half.
he signed
That's crazy.
T-shirts.
Yeah.
Like he signed merch. Like if you bought a shirt, he signed it, and he had to sign so many that it was like the whole YouTube video was like a week straight of him just signing these T-shirts, like nonstop. He had to figure out all these different ways to make it so he could sign more. It was like the craziest shit
He's
ever.
got to make money off that Mr. Beast burger thing too, right?
Yeah,
Like,
he has,
yeah.
but
It's
he,
a million ghost kitchens.
he loses money making his YouTube videos, and then he makes it back on everything surrounding those YouTube videos.
Mr. Beast burger is fire. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know if
It
you
is.
tried it. But
Still
that shit
amazing to me
kinda-
that people
David,
say that. as-
David Dobrik got something too, right?
Who's David Dobrik?
He has a regular pizza place, but Lush,
Yeah, pizza place.
it's a different place in every city.
Yeah.
Which is why it's funny because it's like there's probably multiple Mr. Beast burgers in LA.
It's
Like
ghost kitchens.
No, it's not. It's anything
not
you
now?
get. No, it's just like any burger chain can just become part of the Mr.
Oh,
Beast
for real?
thing, and they will also like they're making their own burgers. Oh, we got a Mr. Beast order.
But you
Okay, we
can't-
make that. Boom, and then they send it off, and it feels like you're getting it from Mr. Beast when you might be getting it from some fucking burger place a mile down the road.
That's why I said it's a ghost kitchen.
Yeah, but a ghost kitchen is like a commercial, or not commercial, but like a private kitchen in which they basically run a restaurant out of it. There is no physical location, but a lot of times when you go to Postmates and you see like kicking mac and cheese or like, you know, some like snazzy
but
brand
you can't
name.
walk up to no Mr. Beast
Right.
burger and get a Mr. Beast
But
burger.
you can-
You have to go on Postmates and order it.
You
That's
can,
a ghost kitchen.
okay,
Right.
but you can walk up to the restaurant that is fulfilling the orders on behalf of Mr.
Oh,
Beast.
see, I didn't know that.
Whereas
I didn't
when
know
you
that
when,
either.
when you see like it'll always be some crazy ass name or some sort of like gimmicky sounding product on Postmates, and at this point I can pick it out. Like, oh, that's a ghost kitchen. Yeah, that's just like some rented space that
Like
they're making
badass
food out of.
burritos.
That kind
right,
of shit. Yeah,
right.
And that's just fun.
And my girl even will look at the address and then look up the address, and then the address
And it's-
is a fucking ghost kitchen where they have like 20 different people cooking all in the same place.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've had it in multiple cities, and it has a pretty consistent flavor. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, has to where I wouldn't know that, oh shit, this is at fucking Johnny Rockets, or you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Shame on you.
All right, I think we're done.
That's
I don't have an interview. I would be 7 minutes late. For
how
the
long?
interview.
How long did we do, Riley?
That was
2.5.
almost
That's
2.5.
cool.
Y'all got me in here for 2.5 hours.
That was pretty good.
Movie.
It's fucking Lush fault.
And Michael reveals himself.
We up out of here. Hey, did you end it yet? Okay,
Get your cocaine bot tees.
Make sure you go
Cocaine
get your
bot tees.
tickets. Don't worry about cocaine bot tees. Go get that nojumper.com. Go holler at them right now. You feel me? It's still on nojumper.com?
Absolutely.
Nojumper.com. And go get the rest of your merch from nojumper.com because I don't even know why we never say no. Don't go get your merch on
We got hoodies and all
nojumper.com.
that.
Why don't we say that all the time?
Can
And
you
why
make-
don't we have merch on nojumper.com?
Can you? Well, we've been talking about it, but I was like, because like the most obvious slogan to put on a shirt besides the cocaine bot might be the wobbler thing, but I don't know if you were planning on doing it yourself or whatever. We figured we would do like
Stay
one
independent, like
one
Adam
merch
said.
shop at a time. Yeah, because we taking all that money.
Oh, whole
we
ass
ain't getting
nigga.
none.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Cocaine bot tees.
Make sure y'all go get y'all
I'm
tickets,
eating
man,
off
for
the
the El
cocaine
Rey,
bot
man.
tees,
June
don't trip.
22nd. Let's
I
do
have
it.
a question. Can you do your live show at like 4:30 p.m. so that I don't have to fuck up my sleep schedule?
I don't know. We can even.
What live show?
Maybe I can come and you
In
can do like a
June?
private live show.
You don't come to live show support us?
If
Go
it's
get
like
your
I'll
tickets,
give my
man.
if it's like 8
Let me get my
p.m.,
hand,
like I
Let me
don't
get my
know,
hand
it's kind
back.
of
Come
late,
on,
man.
man.
Wait, it's gonna be like a Friday.
It's gonna be on a weekend,
see.
dog.
Oh
Come.
yeah, can you do that shit on a Wednesday, man?
Let me see. I'll tell you exactly what.
What day is
it
it on?
June.
I would like
It's a
to go,
Thursday.
It's a Thursday.
but
It's a Thursday.
I remember like telling Duno I would go to his, and then I went to dinner and it ran too late, and I had to miss
Is
his.
that why you didn't go on Ace Boys yet? Because it's late at night?
It's definitely part of it.
They say you chicken right now.
No, they didn't hit me up, and then I seen you in the thumbnail. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm good. I got to do a lot of fucking this Friday.
Okay. Well,
So.
June 22nd,
tough
leave
life.
that free so you can everybody can come to our show. El Rey, go get your tickets right now. I just hit myself in the lip with the mic, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Go get your tickets right now. Don't worry about nothing.
Let's go.
Gang, we out. Appreciate y'all.